Yo, what's up? How's it going? It's Taco Tuesday, W Doggy. What's up, Speedy? That cool gamer, not Jacob, Halab, Dime, Bacon Looter, Rafa, Mr. Kablasti, and Happy Guy. We're going to start with Clipper Skip as always today, y'all. Watch part 2 of the Samifying video. And then try to finally get the whole freaking wave part on 9 circles. That's the plan for today. What's up, Eagle Cyan? You look mad cute today. What's up, ZKR? Stop it, chat. Behave yourselves. Everyone has to behave themselves today. Or else. Guitar solo, ready? Or else permaban? Yeah, basically. Would you rather have 9 circles or 9 triangles? Yes. POV, you played easy mode in the Guitar Hero series? Nah, man, I play expert. What's up, cactuses? 7 rhombocosidodecahedrons? Should I make a level for you? I probably won't play it, I'm sorry. But if you feel so inspired, you can definitely do that. If you feel so inspired, I can't stop you. We're going to hop in a Clipper Skip, folks. This is the wrong window. As a reminder, join the Discord. If you don't, a curse will be set upon your whole family for the next eons of history. That's not true, but you should join the Discord if you want to participate in the Clipper Skip segment. We are in currently the Teej Clips channel. If you go here, this is where you can share your clips from this stream. And then we decide whether it is a clip or if it is a skip. If it is a clip, you vote with the scissors here. You click here. Hey, show up, mouse. If it is a skip, you skip. If it is a clip, I will watch it. If it is voted as a skip, I will skip it. Does that make sense? What's up, Myodi? This is... Can we just take a moment to appreciate how Teej takes a dump on us every stream? Sorry, that was off stream. Let me replay that for everybody. Also, what's up, Cola? What's up, Maximum? Can we just take a moment to appreciate how Teej takes a dump on us every stream? And 3rd time's the charm. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how Teej takes a dump on us every stream? Yeah, we'll call that a clip. That's fair. Passive brutality. This has been a voted clip. And also, I think people who give unsolicited advice should delete themselves from reality. Or so. Is that a clip? I think that's a skip for me, but y'all voted a clip, so we watched it. Nobody voted on this one, so I'll have to figure this out for myself. Mom, also nice song sync. Mom! That's a clip for me. What's up, Nail Hour? What's up, Baloo Glue? Don't stop till you get it up. Come on. Give me one last shot. Don't stop till you get... Ah! That's a clip too. All right, it's time for the react segment. We've been speedrunning Clip or Skip, y'all. I ain't gonna front. I'm jumping right into the video, bro. I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm excited to see this next part. The biggest fraud in Geometry Dash... I misspoke. The biggest fraud in Geometry Dash history. This is part 2 of the Samifying Space UK video series that we watched part 1 of yesterday. We learned about Space UK, the player, and this very impressive up-and-coming player who kept jumping between new hardest and beating levels that people never could even comprehend before. And the way the previous video ended was, wait, is this guy cheating? So I'm guessing that this video is going to be about him being eventually tried for cheating and also the fallout to come with it. Let's jump in, strap yourselves in, grab some popcorn. This video is a little longer than part 1.
The date is April 24th, 2023. Space UK was undeniably at his peak, with 2 Best Player awards, the #1 spot on the leaderboards, and a YouTube channel with
I've already had a bunch of rewards too. That's so messed up.
millions of views. He was the best player the game had ever seen.
With an asterisk next to it.
On this day, he would also be banned from competing, with his legacy undone forever.
Wait, was Space UK banned? Like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that he was banned from competing. I thought that he was, I thought that he had started redeeming himself. Is he still banned from competing?
Was forced to confess. It was not something that he did willingly.
Space hacking is not victimless. There are a ton of people who have been directly affected, and a lot of my friends were.
I know how much money you made. How can you make that much money and not feel guilty?
These are the same interspersals that were in part 1. He's banned from submitting records. Thank you, Tabby. That makes sense. Still play levels? Okay.
I mean, I remember when they took his records off the demon list. I remember talking about it with him in like a private group chat. He just
Who's GD Crisis? Is he just like a player?
said that they were just
I'm sorry that I don't know a lot of people's names. I feel embarrassed about that.
tracking because there was a new hacking method found or something, and they wanted to just be sure. So I never really thought that he hacked.
Space's account had suddenly just disappeared from the Demonist stats viewer. When this happens, this usually can only mean 1 or 2 things. He
Oh, Crisis got robbed of the top 1 spot because of Space UK? I thought it was a competition between Space UK and Zoink. I didn't know that there was another contender.
either quit the game and deleted his account, or
I remember just seeing his profile being off the list, and I was confused, like at that time, because no one really had any information. But I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up being cheating by that point, because
Oh, it was before Zoink? Thanks.
I like connected the dots by that point already.
the community was left in a pretty confusing situation. Nobody really knew what was going on until...
Dude, someone made a video. Dude, that's crazy. I didn't realize someone made an expose on Space UK. Wait, that's so Shakespearean. Dude, that's so, wow.
It turns out, while they were looking into space for another reason, the headless moderator Paco found something else.
There had been a discussion about a person who had come up with some new ways of hacking that we would be able to catch, but that would require a decent amount of searching for. And I had thought that this person was in connection with Space UK, and that ended up not being true. But when I looked at his Acheron video, it turned out that some things were pretty off about it.
What Paco had noticed was not something that you would just casually see or even look for. Really tiny.
But he had done Acheron after the Golden, right? So this was like deep into his cheating the first time someone was kind of getting a smell of him cheating.
And inconsistent variations in his click timings. This means that one of his clicks could be completely frame perfect, but the next jump would be 2 frames delayed, or maybe 3. Some even had a delay of 5 entire frames. which was not normal.
Dude, do not mess with Persnickety Gamings. They will point out inconsistencies in what's happening on screen every single time, dude. Do not mess with nerds. We know this stuff, bro.
To say the least. But hey, it could have been anything, honestly. A bad recording software like Shadowplay might introduce tiny delays into recordings.
I didn't think a ton of it, but I went on to check another one of his things, and I noticed that same sort of issue rising up each time that I checked.
Dude, that must be so like stressful as the person who notices it. Like the burden of being like, oh no, I don't think this guy's legit, and I'm gonna have to be the fall guy who says it. That's gotta be its own type of pressure. Like, I kind of feel bad for Paco here.
Paco also found something else, however. Around 6% in this completion from space, you can hear a mysterious second click. This immediately was seen as a giant red flag, because usually this was a sign of a player using a macro, which is a third-party tool that sort of allows you to record inputs and then have the game play them back for you, creating what looks like a normal run to everyone else. But if Space was using it...
I've heard of macros in other games. I don't really understand how you would use macros in Geometry Dash. Or I guess that does make sense, since it's all just based on like inputs and input timing. I don't know. Something about that doesn't make sense to my feeble mind.
A macro? Why can we hear his mouse clicks throughout the entire completion? Oh no.
The clicks don't line up. If the clicks don't line up, you have to brine up. Get some salt on.
Obviously, it's incredibly difficult to go out and make a claim like, I think the best
Oh, you record the inputs in practice mode? That actually does make sense. Thank you.
player ever is cheating, because making the claim is just such an
Oh, other people pointed it out. They just didn't believe until Paco's video?
outlandish thing unless you have 100% proof, which was surprisingly difficult to find.
So, considering all of the inconsistencies, Paco decided enough was enough. The video will go up on the 25th of April.
Paco made a freaking diss track, dude. That's so awesome. Sorry, I'm trying to read this. Well, it just blew up. No, come on. To clear any potential confusion, the Space UK exposal video is not a joke, and Space UK has confessed to hacking Abyss of Darkness, Acheron, Aerial Gleam, The Hallucination, Kyoki, and Oblivion. He has been banned from the list. And this was April 25th, 2023. Dude, it was late too, bro. People were up late.
The community...
Let the chaos flow. Some guy exposed Space UK like a year before Paco, I think. I guess it's just like, it goes to show that until something gets like momentum behind it and like a lot of noise behind it, it's hard to make like a ripple, but like the true like tidal wave online. Nope. That was an accidental reference.
He was set ablaze. It was honestly a mixed camp, with one side thinking it was a shitpost and the other side finally connecting the dots. If this was true, this would mean that every completion that Space uploaded after becoming the second...
Dude, and that's crazy cognitive dissonance. You have so many Space UK ride or dies that they're just like, bro, no way, he's fake?
...player to ever beat the entire main list.
On God, he's fake, bro.
...were cheated. Just to remind you, this includes Acheron, the #1 hardest level at the time. These completions were some of Space's most recent heavy achievements.
His exposal was like a bloodbath? Dap me up.
That the community praised him for, and now we had reasonable proof to believe that he cheated all of them.
Wait, yeah, oh, wait, sorry, I glazed over this. I was too busy with the really funny bit that we all just had together. All his flagship achievements had millions of views. So like, I know we talked a bit about this in the last video, but he didn't only scam the community in terms of being a good player, he scammed the community in terms of getting all these freaking views on these achievements that didn't even matter, bro. This is so multifacetedly messed up, bro.
So, where was Space in all of this? Well, later on that day, he would respond.
Drama. Implosion. I am curious. This was something I was thinking about with the last video chat. I was just like, what was it like when Space UK actually responded to it? Because I don't know, maybe this video is going to cover that. People in chat were telling me that the first time Space UK cheated was an accident. And just something about that still isn't sitting right with me. I haven't seen some of the evidence that y'all have, but whenever I hear someone say, oh, it was just an accident, my cynic glasses activate. I'm like, so I don't know if this video covers that at all, but I'm intrigued, to say the least.
Every main list after my Sephiroth main list completion in May 8th, 2022 was hacked.
Okay.
I lost interest in actually playing the game and wanted to see how long I could go without being caught.
That's messed up.
Hacked completions include Aerial Gleam, Oblivion,
Oops, all no clip.
Abyss of Darkness, The Hallucination.
Yeah, he accidentally turned on no clip for the golden completion, but didn't get caught and started hacking for no reason. That is what the story I've heard alleged. That doesn't make sense to me. Again, y'all probably have more context than I do. Hearing that in isolation, that sounds like a load of BS.
Q-Key. Oh, I forgot.
Like, if something were truly an accident, you wouldn't continue to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier in hindsight to be able to be like, well, the first time was an accident and this whole thing just spiraled out of control. Motherfucker, if it was truly an accident, you wouldn't have continued.
Acheron 2.
My opinion.
This was a deep blow to the community. He admitted to cheating basically every single completion in the past year, which included Acheron. He said it so nonchalantly too. He just got bored of the game and wanted to see how long he could get away.
He was trying to beat the golden, beat it, but realized he had no clip on like 20 minutes later. All right, I'll trust that.
Of it, as if the community and
I guess I'll just trust that.
all its players trying their best to compete were just a bunch of toys he could play with. I also love how he just forgot for a second that he cheated Acheron.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's this whole bit of like, oh, I guess, like, yeah, if I'm admitting it, I know this is just old news at this point. I don't know, man. There's something so lackadaisical about all this stuff.
Something odd that didn't go unnoticed. The band-aid was off. Space came out and admitted to cheating the past year of his achievements. Countless first Victor titles that symbolized his dominance in the game basically...
Space beat Acheron recently? No. This is coming from the context of someone who knows nothing about the game. I know that people anecdotally have said that recently Space UK has been on a path of redemption, and that is fine. In the last video we were reacting to, I was saying, Godspeed to him, good luck. We're talking about this. We're talking about historically what he did and the repercussions.
Meant null now. But
so I'm not really in the interest right now of being like, oh, but it's different now. It's like, okay, sure, it's different now. Let's talk about these things as they happen.
honestly, everyone makes mistakes. Maybe the pressure you receive as a...
Exactly. Everyone does make mistakes, but I would argue that making one mistake, making one accident on the golden, sure, that is one mistake. But to allow a mistake or one accident to then color the way you are going to continue to act because you were able to get away with it, that is bad. That is still bad. Like, I don't know. It feels like some people that I've heard in chat, they're just like, oh, well, the first time was an accident. Like, I feel like y'all are being a little too generous, to be honest. I think you're being a little too generous because most people, if they found that that was an accident, they'd be like, oh, hey, I made this accident. It's not adding up to me. It doesn't make sense. I've been on this earth too long with people. Why did he not admit it? It doesn't make sense. If it was truly an accident, why would he not be like, oh, hey, sorry, I no-clipped?
top player got to
Is he just like that much of a jerk?
him and eventually led to him cheating.
Yes. What would you do after noticing the mistake? Sorry, guys, accidentally hacked us in hindsight. Yes, you admit to it. When you make a mistake, you admit to it. You don't fly under the radar like, hey, I somehow got away with this and everybody thinks I'm cool. That's a dick move.
He still was a great player. The last year of faking his accomplishments should not completely nullify the insane achievements from 2021. You know, verifying Slaughterhouse and being voted as the best player of that year. I'm sorry, Dean, but the second band-aid needs to come off too.
Dude, I'm getting secondhand stress from this. For those of you who have been around, how did this feel? Or like maybe were any of you in chat around when this actually like broke out? Like, how did you feel? Carl Jope said the better a person is at the game, the more likely they are to cheat because being unable to complete achievements legitimately becomes more and more frustrating the higher your skill. Yeah, I still think it's weak and or a loss. But I do see what you're saying, and I understand that quote. Like, I understand the pressure as you rise in the game, but I would also argue that if you had enough grind and drive in you to get to a high enough level in the game to where you're a respectable player, why the hell would you cheat yourself continuing to grow your own accolades organically and meaningfully? It doesn't make sense to me. Literally, you go through like the whole intermediate, the Dunning-Kruger effect. You get through the slump of like being an intermediate at something and you're one of the best players at something, and then you cheat? Make it make sense to me. I don't get it. Like, honestly, it makes more sense to me if you're a shitter at the game and you cheat, because shitters don't understand what it takes to become good at something. They just want the easy way. Thanks for sharing your feelings, y'all. That was a weird feeling of shock, not surprised. Yeah, I feel like if I was around when this happened, I would have felt sick to my stomach. I would have been absolutely nauseated. Oh yeah, get Shrek, he was definitely doing it selfishly, for sure, yeah.
So yeah, like I said...
No, you don't do something like this when... You don't cheat and just allow everybody to glaze you about thinking that you're not a cheater without like fully acting selfishly. That was the problem. He wasn't thinking about anybody else but himself. He simply wasn't. And I know someone in the last video in chat, they were just like, oh, well, he did admit like he was having trouble sleeping. I'm just like, yeah, that's the least you can say. But it's like, was he having trouble sleeping because he felt bad about what he did to others? Or was he having trouble sleeping because he was afraid he was going to get caught? And did he apologize and like go on this whole redemption arc only because he get caught? The classic freaking lyric, don't tell me you're sorry because you're not, baby, when I know you're only sorry you got caught. If he hadn't gotten caught, would he just have kept doing it? The world may never know.
I woke up.
The world may never know. Sorry, this whole topic really pisses me off.
And I got a DM, and it said, good job on verifying Slaughterhouse. And I was like, there's no way this guy actually, like, there's no way this can be real. Like there's no way this actually just happened.
The moment Space was exposed on the first day, a massive investigation into all
He did say he would have kept going if he didn't get caught. All right, well, at least he owns
his
it.
completions and all his raw footage was started. In that investigation,
You should watch the interview with him by Secret Way. I was considering watching that after this. Like, we talked about that recently last week. I don't know if that interview is just going to piss me off, though. I'll be honest. If y'all want to see that, let me know. But I don't know how much more of this whole Space UK stuff I can take beyond this video. I think I might be done with Space UK after covering this video. I feel like I've learned enough and I don't really care to hear any more about it. I think I'm good.
not much
I genuinely think I'm so good on that.
came up. He would pass all the normal checks a legit player would too. The only things that were a reoccurring problem in almost all of his raw footage were the inconsistent click timings. But one person from the challenge list found something else. A watermark.
Wait, a
The
watermark?
creator of Zbot was in closer connection to the challenge list than the demon list. So he had posted about the watermark at some point, but it had never really gotten widespread knowledge throughout the demon list as a whole. But he looked back through old messages, I believe, and found that there was a watermark and decided to check it with Space's stuff, and it came up as hack.
Wow. Modding is a big part of Geometry Dash today. It makes the game more accessible for less fortunate players that can't afford 240Hz monitors, for example. They offer a wide variety of quality of life improvements that make everyone's experience with the game better.
This is freaking Eclipse, or what is it? There's another name for it.
However,
I have Eclipse and Geode.
since the dawn
Mega hack?
of GD modding, there always have been big concerns about people using mods for nefarious reasons like cheating completions and trying to pass them off as legit.
Okay, that was Mega hack, thanks.
For this reason, mod authors have worked together with the list teams over
Yo, Pax Nexry, we're reacting to a video right now. Could you like Google this or something and not use my chat for like something that you could Google? This is crazy. We're like reacting to a whole ass video right now.
the years to include really obscure and tiny watermarks in their mods. Watermarks that only they and the list teams know about. This means that if anyone would try and pass off a modified run as a legit one, the demon list moderators could check for these watermarks to see if anything fishy was going on. And exactly this is what turned Space from just another cheater to the biggest fraud the game has ever seen.
And it's been so long, like 2021. Did I really just not know it for all this time? So that was all the thoughts running through my mind, and I open, you know, Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and I just see, you know, Space UK. I hacked Slaughterhouse. I hacked Acheron. Everything.
But did some of the top players like Doggy, did they kind of have like a feel for it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the people who are at the top of the game, some of them must have been like a bit cynical, right? Some of them must have had some feeling like something about the Space UK guys off, you know?
Whatever. Everything I beat past the golden has been hacked.
Like, I get how the community at large probably just like most of them trusted him implicitly, but like the top players must have been like, this is weird.
Seemingly overnight, Doggy was promoted from first victor of Slaughterhouse to the actual first player to ever beat that level legit. It wasn't
Space was very good at social engineering. Oh, well, that's disgusting.
who verified Slaughterhouse.
Oh, my alarm just went off, chat. I need to go live in 10 minutes. Remind me, thanks.
It was Doggy.
They had a feeling, but since the demon list shut down the early accusations, they just accepted it. Oh, the demon list kind of like buffered a lot of that. Damn, that's tough.
All because of a measly 64 pixels on the level completion screen.
Wow. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is stuff that I would never notice, bro. But people who are like diehards, like they analyze this kind of stuff, bro. They're like, something's off. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. I think it's cool. Some people's observational skills are just next level. Like, if you asked me how to get someplace like locally near me, I would still have to look at it on Google Maps. Like, I don't have a good sense of observation or directions. But some people are just like, bro, this is off by 1 pixel. And I'm like, nice. That's awesome, bro. Your brain works a different way than mine does.
T-Bot's watermark that eventually got Space caught changes the size of the level complete text at the end of every level.
Some top players lost motivation because of him. That's another really astute. Thank you for sharing that. It pisses me off because when people cheat and they change, like, the barometer of skill level and skill expression in this game is already rising. When an asshole cheats, you inaccurately misrepresent and inflate that skill inflation that's already going up. Oh, you're so disgusting. And you're making all these actually good players feel bad about themselves because they're just like, well, I'm working all the same too. Why is this guy so much better than me? Because he lied! Sorry. I'm passionate.
Completed. It doesn't change it in an obvious way.
That Crisis guy quit GD because of Space UK? I'm pissed.
It changes it by 64 pixels. But that's not all. Because of how the game works, even a texture pack or stuff like that would not really be able to circumvent this. Because it's not really the size change that we're looking at. We're looking at the ratio between the level complete text upon entering the finish and the level complete text in the menu that appears after. Normally, these two texts side by side have a ratio of approximately 72%. But if you activate C-Bot at any point during the completion, that ratio shrinks to a 68.12%. And this
Nepesta, a top player at his time, has a really nice clip explaining how he was affected by space. Is it in this video?
is what got Space caught. Because it turns out...
Because that's kind of what I'm most intrigued by. I want to hear about the actual goats who worked for what they wanted and how this garbage affected them. Because they did not deserve this.
Almost all of his completions have this watermark. And combined with the fact that we know he has inconsistent click timings in all of his raw footage, we basically can confirm that what he did was learn a level to the point where he would have every input memorized. He then would record a macro that would activate upon pressing a predetermined keybind, and then he would record himself playing the first 5 to 10% legit, activating the macro, and just clicking over the inputs just to fake the audio.
Like, can we just for a second, like, can we recognize, like, when you talk about court cases, when you talk about like the type of crime, there's like premeditated and there's like crimes of passion, right? This is so premeditated. When we're breaking down exactly his flow for how he cheated, it's even harder for me to have sympathy. Like, this bro had so many times to stop and not do this, and the fact that he did this over multiple levels. There were so many potential points of failure where he could have been like, oh, I probably shouldn't do this. Like, this was premeditated as hell. Dude, like, I don't I have no sympathy here. This
Have
is
every
gross.
input memorized. He then would record a macro that would activate upon pressing a predetermined keybind, and then he would record himself playing the first 5 to 10% legit, activating the macro, and just clicking over the inputs just to fake the audio. This was Space's
After he plays the macro, it's one click to activate the macro. Every click he makes after activating the macro is an act of fraud. Every single click, he is knowingly committing fraud. Think about that. Sit with that for a second.
method that got him past all proof checks for almost 3 years. But how? How did this slip
I'm good,
for
bro.
so long? The answer is surprisingly complicated.
Not only was he pretty decent at the way that he was hacking, but he was incredibly good at sort of socially engineering the way in which he interacted with people to come off as legit.
He was actually a good player, so it didn't look suspicious on stream and when he was in calls with us, because he actually could play the levels. He did learn them and like actually play them, but when it came to completing them, he didn't do that. He just botted them.
From an outsider's point of view, it's easy to blame the demonist.
Look at this cringe lord. Nobody will ever take my #1 spot. Dude, I don't care. I actually don't care about you. Like, best of luck to you. I hope that you're able to walk like a prouder path. I'm going to always argue that the only reason you're walking this prouder path is because the community forced you. And if you weren't to walk this prouder path, they would have exiled you. I think you're a coward. I don't like you.
Mods for not checking all these things way earlier. They should have been more skeptical of him, especially at the start, when he beat the Golden as his 5th ever demon. But what an outsider won't know is that Space's rise to fame was in an era where cheat detection just wasn't as developed as it is now. He was able to kickstart momentum in an era where other players were doing ridiculous things already. It was easy to point at players like Enswish and almost use them as a sort of alibi for Space. If people like Enswish could do it, why not him? This allowed him to get the ball rolling at the perfect moment. And once he had momentum, it sort of became a feedback loop. The mere fact that a player that was so prevalent and in your face about how good he was hasn't been caught yet gave him credit. Why look into him when it—
That's so gross. That's so gross. They're like, yeah, I guess like since he's openly just flexing on that's a part I didn't even know, dude. He was beating these levels and openly flexing on everybody, beating them. I'm so angry, bro. I hate this guy so much. It's one thing to cheat. It's another thing to just like rub it in everyone's face. Even if you weren't a cheater, even if you were the GOAT at the game fairly, that would be so cringe of you to do. That'd be so good. No one's ever going to take the #1 top spot from me. That should have been the greatest red flag. That should have been the greatest red flag to everybody. The fact that he was rubbing it in everyone's face. This is proof this guy has a fucking fragile ego.
It seems so obvious that he would have been caught already if he really was faking it. If you combine this with the fact that he was friends with most of the top players, it is maybe easier to understand why certain things were just overlooked. This, in my opinion, is basically why it took so long for him to get caught.
I gotta breathe a little bit. I gotta let the cortisol watch. Let's let the video roll.
Because Space was a social engineer, that's kind of what pushed him to be legit in people's eyes. It wasn't about how he was playing, it was about how he treated the game, how he was so nice in the community, how he was so genuine, it seemed like.
Bro, he manipulated everybody. That's worse. That's worse than cheating. Cheating is one thing. He literally just manipulated and lied to people and treated them like fools. God, what a narcissist.
That everyone kind of blindly believed him off of that and didn't really assume he was hacking at any point.
I don't even think it's impossible to imagine that he could have been a hacker. I think it's more impossible
Does Teej know Space has been accepted back in the community? Yes, I don't give a shit. I don't like him.
to imagine that we didn't catch him yet. So it's like he just can't be.
If there is any lesson that I was taught through this entire situation, it's that the best way to lie is to tell the truth. And you will see later on what I mean by that. Nah, this guy. What? But until then, I kind of want to divert the attention away from Space. There has been so many people that were hurt by his actions. From players that got years of their lives stolen from them, to others who would have received so much more attention and success if it wasn't for Space. Let's talk about the players who actually deserve to be in the spotlight.
Yeah, can we please talk about the people who actually deserve to be in the spotlight and not this... I have to bite my tongue.
Oh, you actually were number 1 at some point?
Yeah, I mean, I was number 1 once when Space like removed his profile.
That's the only reason you were number 1 is because he
Yeah,
temporarily
exactly.
moved his profile.
So if he never was there, I would have been number 1 for quite a bit of time, I think.
Fuck, how does that feel?
Oh, yeah. It feels kind of shit. It feels like a punch to the gut.
Damn, you basically corrupt.
Yeah.
Wolves was considered one of the best players around 2021. He is currently the world record holder of most extreme demons ever beaten, sitting at over 450 completed extremes. An achievement like this is not something you can do in a couple of months. It's something that takes years of hard work and determination.
Yup.
And the worst thing about all of this is he actually was kind of close to Space. They were friends.
Yeah, he said here as well on our Twitter DMs, he said, me removing my list profile probably makes more sense now. Like, he considered it to just remove and stop, but he was just so addicted to being above everyone else, so he came back. That's like what makes me think that he just doesn't care. He just thinks about himself.
Yeah, he's a narcissist. Everything he does is self-serving. Chat, this is the way life works. There's this old saying, when someone tells you who they are, believe them. Space UK has told everyone who he is. Everyone who wants to accept him and welcome him back with open arms, that's your prerogative. He's told you who he is.
Wolves is one of 6 players that were affected by Space in this way. If it wasn't for Space cheating himself to the top, they would have been considered the best player instead, which is something that they will never be able to get back. Some other names include Spiritex, ThunderBT, Jeller, Snowballer, and Crisis. At that moment in time, right, like leading right up to the whole exposal, were you still in close contact with Space at that moment? Like a VC the day before? Like,
Yeah,
oh shit.
we've been talking like basically daily for 2 years.
Damn. Out of all of the people I interviewed, Crisis probably was the closest to Space. And just like Wolves, they kinda were rivals.
2. I was number 2 behind Space for a long time.
Oh shit, okay.
Yep. Never could get number 1.
Do you remember like roughly how long you kept that number 2 spot?
Imagine that. Imagine you're like a direct rival with somebody for so long. Like, I bet it's kind of a mixture. It's probably like there's a bit of relief when you find out they were cheating the whole time, because when you have a rival who seems insurmountable, you're just like, what the hell am I doing wrong? Like, they're pushing you to become better, but there's also that equally loud voice in your head of like, how do I get better than this guy? There's probably a bit of a relief that comes with finding out they're a cheater, because then it's just like, oh, I could never surpass this guy because they were a fraud.
But
I guess like 4 to 6 months.
imagine being friends with someone for over 2 years, just to later find out that they have been actively lying to your face the entire time. Not just a harmless lie either, you were competing against each other. Something
Yeah, some friend. Hey, here's a crazy idea. If that was my friend, I would never be friends with them for the rest of my life. That's not a friend, that's a dickhead.
that especially between
And let's be clear about that, chat. If you have a friend who does that to you, that is not a good friend. In fact, I would not even say that's a bad friend. That is an enemy. That's a bad person. That is not someone you want to have in your life. For the love of God, make healthy boundaries with these people. Cut them off.
friends should happen on a basis of fairness and trust, but for some reason, no matter how hard you try, you can never catch up. And then one day, you find out why. Not because your friend wants.
Like, a real friend cares about, they don't care about being better than you. They care about bringing out the best in you. They care about both of you rising and coming up together. Why the fuck would you keep someone around who always wants to cut the legs off you and try to get ahead of you? Why would you ever do that to yourself? You have one responsibility in this life, and it is to be the best version of yourself that you can be. If anyone in your life wants to combat that or try and make you feel like a worse version of yourself, they're a nemesis, bro. They're bad. They're self-serving. They're scum.
Wanted to tell you, but because he was forced to tell you.
A day later, they announced that he just hacked everything, and that really hit me deep. I was happy and sad and annoyed at the same time. I was happy at first because I realized that I was actually number 1 for a while, but then I realized that I never got the feeling of being number 1, so it didn't feel good.
Wolves and Crisis were, and to this day are, some of the best players this game has ever seen. To know that they never really got their chance to be at the top just because of Space feels horrible.
Like, isn't that so sad? Like, literally, it's so messed up that, like, the Space UK controversy is such a blight on the community to the extent that this happened a few years ago. I, as a noob who haven't really known the details of it, am just now learning about it. Instead, we could be talking about someone like Crisis. We could be talking about someone like Wolves. Instead, we're just talking about how big of an asshole this guy was. That's sad. That's sad. We were robbed of such a beautiful history for these people who actually had passion and care for the game that they played. That's sad. That's something that should be grieved. That's heartbreaking.
Oh, were you the first
This is the story we get to talk about? This is the story that we get to relive?
victor of Firework?
I was, yeah. I mean, after Space.
Yeah. Without Space, Firework would have been the #1 level at the top, because he would have never verified Slaughterhouse. This would mean that Crisis would have been the first victor of that level instead of Space, with the verifier being Trick, who also has his story to tell.
There's a level called Firework that I was playing for around a year, but I knew the level way before that.
What does Firework mean to you?
Firework meant basically the entire game for me at the time that I was verifying it, because Firework was just kind of my big break in the community. Like, it was so fast, everyone just knew me all of a sudden. I was never used to being in the limelight like that. So it means a lot to me in terms of everything that I've done in the game. It's kind of my symbol.
Okay. Trick was an upcoming player looking to prove himself to everyone at the time. To do that, he promised the original creators of Firework that he could verify it and make it become the #1 hardest demon in the game. And with that, began his 1-year-long journey to try and prove to everyone that he was good enough to beat it. During this journey, he spent roughly 234,000 attempts.
I was trying to verify it to prove to basically everyone that I was actually a good player and that, you know, I deserved the verification, because at that time, you know, no one knew me, so everyone just thought I was going to drop it like everyone else did. There was like 7 verifiers before me that were all top players and they couldn't do it.
They all dropped it?
Yeah, like it was all top players too. It was like really notable top players in the community. Firework was just so far ahead of anything in difficulty during the time that I don't even think any top player felt it to be reasonable.
At some point in Trick's journey, the whole Slaughterhouse thing happened. It was announced that there would be a closed verification race, and Trick was even invited to be part of it.
Around when Doggy dropped it and there became a verification race, that I first played the level and realized, like, damn, this level is way harder than Firework, and like I really got scared. And then when Space started progressing just like so quickly on it, like, that was really hard for me.
All of a sudden, this level basically came out of nowhere, threatening to throw all of Trick's hard work straight out the window. At this point, he almost was a year into his journey of verifying Firework, and to see Space just ripping through Slaughterhouse must have been horrifying to watch. How long did it take Space?
I feel sick. Like, I already knew where the video was building. Like, if you saw the way I was trying to not lose it during this Trick part, like, W Samifying for actually documenting all this in an accurate way. W Samifying, also like and subscribe to Samifying, obviously, if you haven't. Thank you for highlighting all the stories of the top players who were affected by this Space stuff. I literally want to throw up right now. I feel dreadfully awful. I feel terrible. I feel disgusted. And I feel repulsed. And I feel really sad.
Space to beat Slaughterhouse?
No more than a week. Less than a week, probably. It was crazy. That's what I mean by he was progressing so quickly, you know. It was hard for me just to see such a dominant player. Like, because at that time, I was really trying to work on my skill as well. So during that time, it was just...
As we know, Space would then eventually go on to verify Slaughterhouse 5 days before Trick was able to verify Firework, stealing away.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't even matter this guy was grinding on this level for 1 year. Let me just turn on my little no clip so I can beat the level way harder and give him a freaking messed up sense of self and identity because of it. I'm an asshole piece of shit. Fuck you, Space UK. I hate him, dude. I'm good on him. I'm so good on this guy. I'm never reacting to another video of this guy ever again. This is the last video I'm reacting to this guy. I don't want to talk about him ever again. I never want to talk about this guy. This guy deserves nothing. He deserves nothing. He doesn't deserve even a second chance at having a platform. He deserves nothing.
A year of hard work and determination. It was supposed to be tricked.
Don't suggest any more Space UK videos. I will not watch them.
With firework, but at the top.
I it's a banned video. I'm never reacting to another Space UK video for as long as I fucking live.
Sat Space with Slaughterhouse. Knowing what we do now, we of course know that Trick actually succeeded with his stream. He was the verifier of the top 1 demon. It's just neither him or anyone else knew it. It's almost like Space was holding the entire demon list hostage. If you didn't know, the way they rank levels is based on the opinions of the people that have actually beaten them. And since Space was such a prevalent and good player, he had a lot of control over where levels would be placed. Sadly, to the detriment of a lot of other top players.
When he confessed that he hacked, it brought no...
I understand why this affects you so much because you're so passionate about improvement. Bro, that's like my whole thing. Every single time I go live, like my whole point for streaming is I want to share the passion and like the point that life is worth living, because as long as you get to live and breathe another day, you get another opportunity to better yourself, to improve yourself, to learn to love people better, to learn to open your heart more to others. Everything about this Space UK guy spits in the face of that. Everything about him is self-serving. It's not about learning to live and breathe and let others in and rise above your own insecurities. It's all about enforcing this barricade of your own insecurities to try and keep yourself protected and to protect your ego. I'm literally so repulsed. I feel I feel like I can't shower this off. I can't put into words. I hate this guy. And I will say that with my full chest. I fucking hate this guy. I hate this guy. I hate him. I think he's a bad person.
Context to like so much stuff. Like at the time when he beat Hard Machine, which is a level that I verified, he said it was only about Zodiac difficulty. But the other people who had beaten it eventually said that it should be harder than Tartarus, and they still do say that to this day.
Varium is an incredible player that started playing this game in 2014. This means he's been going at this now for almost 9 years, and ever since he started playing, he always had one dream.
I just want to see myself at the top. I just want to see myself with the achievement of having beaten the hardest thing that anyone has done in the game.
Back in 2021, he got really close to doing this. He was the verifier of a level called Hard Machine. He went through an incredible journey and spent over 40,000 attempts to finally verify it. And once he did, it was all about waiting for other top players to beat it and then asking them how hard they thought the level was, including Space.
Back then, they said, well, maybe...
Okay, is this real or... I'm getting rage baited, but what...
Including...
This level is so easy, it doesn't even deserve a description. Maybe this is just faked for the video. Does anyone know, is this the actual description for this video that Space UK posted? What an asshole. Yes, ZKR. Dude, I feel so funny. I was so diplomatic in my last video about, you know what? If Space UK is on a path for redemption, best of luck to him. Fuck that. Fuck that. I hope I never cross paths with this guy for as long as I live. I hope that history eventually forgets you, Space UK. I hate you.
Space.
Back then, they said, well, maybe it isn't actually that hard because, you know, Space beat it so quick.
Like, that's the frustrating thing. He won. If his goal was to be remembered, he won. He won. He gets to be remembered. Not for being the best, but for being an absolute piece of human garbage. He won. We see this all the time now. You see people online. They would rather be remembered. They would rather be notorious than nothing. Good job, Space UK. And you're taking advantage of the naivety and the forgiveness in people's hearts for them to let you back into the community and to be proud of your redemptive journey. Congrats, man. Good job.
That maybe he's right, and maybe it's just my personal experience that made it so hard, and it's not actually that hard inherently.
Like, have you guys seen The Wolf of Wall Street? That was a con man. And then the way he got out of being a con man eventually was like, he was just like, he started doing seminars about how like, I used to be a con man, but now I'm a good guy. This is a tale as old as time, y'all. When someone gets caught in the shit, their only move is to be like, oh, I got caught in the shit once. I learned my lesson and I'm trying to be better. It's a fucking marketing move. It's a PR move. You either double down or you're just like, oh gosh, you all have taught me a better way. I need to be better.
In typical Space fashion, it only took him 7,000 attempts to actually beat Heart Machine. His opinion, number 5. Varian thinks that Space's opinion of the level massively influenced the opinions of other top players at the time.
And Space's influence just sort of robbed me of my dream. As soon as I realized that, well, for the next few days, I just couldn't stop thinking about how I was right there and I could have had it, but then Space sort of took that away from me, and now I have to go through the biggest difficulty jump that this game has ever seen.
Today, we basically know that if it wasn't for Space and his superior skill, Heart Machine probably would have placed around number 1, meaning Varian would have achieved his dream of beating the current—
Like, you messed up the progression. There were people who were actively pushing the progression of the game. You messed it up. You messed it up. You gave them self-image issues. You fucked it all up.
hardest level. He's still trying.
You don't love Geometry Dash. You love yourself. It's crazy to me that Geometry Dash players are so passionate about the game. You can be faced with someone who so clearly spits on the game, and you can forgive them.
To this day, by the way.
He doesn't like this game.
So if there's anyone—
I don't think he doesn't love this game. I don't think he even likes this game.
Anyone out there that's looking for a top 1 verifier, there's a free agent right there that you could pick up. But make sure to tell him I said hi.
I respect this man so much, and I like this guy. He's such a chill guy, and now I have to, like, you know, deal with him being a cheater.
Out of all of the players that were robbed of achievements by Space, Doggy's story especially—
Is this Acheron?
Stood out to me. As I mentioned earlier, with Space being exposed as a cheater, it meant that the first victim—
I think it's good that he's beating everything he hacked legitimately. I don't like him. I think that's the best thing he can do. I wish nothing but misery upon him. Sorry. I don't wish misery upon any other person, but I simply, like, I don't want to talk about this guy anymore after this video. I don't think he deserves it. Like, he owes it to nobody else but himself. Like, that's the thing. When someone is a complete asshole and fucks people over, the reason why they need to walk a path of redemption is for the sake of their own soul. If he's doing it because he wants people to like him again, he's doing it for the wrong reason. If he's doing it because he truly feels bad and he wants to be a good person, that is what is respectable, and that is what any redemptive journey should be. But I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know which of the two it truly is.
Slaughterhouse was actually the first ever player to beat it legit. In this case, it was Doggy. For 1.5 years, neither the community or Doggy had any idea that he actually was the one to officially dethrone Tartarus from its number 1 spot. The exposure that should have been a reward for all of his hard work for taking the first step past Tartarus is basically something that he will never get back.
Honestly, since he went so long without even, like, saying anything, I don't even think he felt bad, bro. He was just, like, desensitized.
He didn't feel bad! When someone does bad stuff, like, y'all, chat, you understand this, right? Like, the reason we have, like, laws and stuff to prevent people from doing crimes is because there are some people who are so wicked and shitty that they need, like, laws in place to prevent them from doing shitty stuff. Like, you recognize that it's not a good excuse, like, oh man, I did this bad shitty thing, but I got away with it, so I guess it's fine. Like, no! If you're a good person, you simply don't do the bad shitty thing to begin with. You simply don't do the bad shitty thing to begin with. It's not because rules are in place that say that you shouldn't do the bad, shitty thing. It's not because a list of commandments tell you to not do the thing. It's because you have some sense of human decency or a moral compass within you that says, hey, if I did something, this would be mean. This would be a shitty thing to do. Am I insane?
To it. I honestly don't think there would be a time where it would come out unless it was like years later after his time in this community.
But that's not everything. Something that I basically brushed over in this video is Acheron. Acheron is the current hardest level on the Demonist, a level that far surpasses any other. The player who verified that level was Zoink, another complete anomaly in the community. And the first victor was Space, who basically stole that title away from Doggy as well.
But I feel like the first emotion before being disappointed was kind of a positive emotion, because I was like, I was the first victor of Acheron, and all that effort didn't go to, you know, waste. But in the end, I was kind of disappointed in this man.
Space's actions are a deep cut into the competitive integrity of the game. It's not only some of the biggest achievements in the past years that were stolen, but also the trust us normal casual players have in top players. With Space coming out as a cheater, we don't know who to trust anymore, especially when current top...
Dude, that's fair. I mean, that's once something of this magnitude happens, it's really hard to like believe that anyone's legit. Like, that's the thing, right? I mean, and we've alluded a bit to this in chat, but like, that's also human nature, is the reactivity to when some kind of unprecedented shitty thing happens, is you immediately assume that it's more common than you once thought, right? Like, there's an over adjustment period where you're just like, oh shit, is everybody cheating? You know, I think that's part of like collective human trauma across communities.
Players like Zoink share a very similar origin story, with Space coming out of nowhere and all of a sudden just demolishing the entire Demonist. Do you think there are more top players right now, like let's say in the top 20, that are cheating right now?
Alright, so Zoink better be cheating or else nothing makes sense. So I'm gonna say Zoink is cheating, because how? Like, this guy makes no sense. And he's also Space 2.0, like he's a Space clone. He might be a Space alt, so like who? I would not be surprised, to be honest. This guy's way too good. And if he's not hacking, I don't even know that's possible. So Zoink, good job if you're not hacking. There's some people that have beaten Slaughterhouse that just have these weird ass names, like YOLO Mode Boom. I want to call it YOLO Mode Boom. You did not beat Slaughterhouse in my opinion. Alright, that's all.
It was important to me to end this segment on a bit of a lighter note. Doggy and all of the other players took this...
Thank you for that, Samifying. Right when we needed the brevity, he gave it to us.
...this entire thing incredibly well, and they have nothing but the uppermost respect from me. I will leave this segment with a recording of the 2022 Best Player Awards, just to show you why I really wanted to include Doggy.
Max, I see you rage baiting in my chat. I'm gonna ban you. Good luck with the unban request. I literally see, like, dude, every single one of your messages is rage baiting one of my chatters. Go away. I'm glad you think you're funny.
You might be wondering, where is Space in all of this now? How did he treat the situation, and what does this mean?
Can I be honest? Before this video, I cared about where Space UK was now. I don't now. Genuinely, I don't. I'm gonna hear it out because I love Samifying, and I trust Samifying with my life. Like, every Samifying video I've watched has been très magnifique. Seriously, if you're, I find it very hard to believe if you found my channel somehow and you're not already subscribed to Samifying, but for the love of God, subscribe, like the video. This is great work. Simply for entertainment purposes, yes, but for educational purposes, I feel so grateful that this video exists so that some dumbass like me can see the frickin' war crimes and the crimes against humanity that Space UK committed.
Mean for him going into the future. He uploaded a tweet longer on the 26th of April. This was only a day.
Nothing in the world will justify this. I deserve everything coming to me. No, dude, whatever. You just, maybe it's a vibe, it's a feel thing. Bro, when people get caught with their hand in the cookie jar, like, he's licking his own wounds. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm such a bad guy. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. Some of you haven't dealt with narcissists enough in your life, and it really shows.
After his initial exposal. The tweet longer is basically him explaining how this entire thing started and why he kept going with it. In the tweet longer, he explains that the catalyst for all of this was his completion.
Like a freaking anime character, like, oh, how could I have done this? Oh, I can't believe the consequences to my actions. I have to be better from now on. Like, you guys, I think you're a little naive.
Of the Golden, the one claim to fame he had at the start of all of this was that Golden was his 5th ever demon. Apparently, he accidentally...
Sammy doesn't do GD anymore? Yeah, isn't this like... I think I was looking at Samifying's channel. They haven't posted videos in a while, have they? I think this may have been like the last few videos they posted. Is that right?
He had the no-clip cheat turned on during that attempt and only realized 20 minutes...
Sorry, I cheated a little. Won't happen again. Exactly, dude. This is so...
after that his completion was illegitimate.
I'm sorry that I gave people a bunch of reasons to have to talk to a therapist because the game that they really care about getting better at really messed with their sense of image because of lies that I told. I'm sorry that I lied and manipulated a whole community of people to give them trust issues over the period of many years of their lives. Many of them developmental because they're at a young age. I'm sorry.
Which makes sense, since he literally beat it on the first attempt of that session, where it would be harder to notice that you accidentally have no clip turned on. He then decided to submit the record anyway, on the basis of, meh, if I get caught, I will just quit the game, which, okay, what kind of mentality is that? To his surprise, the record was accepted, and that is what made him realize he could get away with...
Oh, don't worry. If I get caught, I'll just run away from the consequences. Like, how do any of you still respect this guy? He speaks about it so clearly without any sort of remorse. Oh, if I get caught, I'll just leave. That way the people who are upset with me won't be able to... I'll just avoid it. I'll just avoid the problems that my actions cause.
Way more. He claims that after the Golden, he beat the level Kinos legit, but in his completion...
Yeah, guys, like, I really need to tell some of y'all, like, listen to... This guy's a piece of shit. This guy... Some people in this life, you're gonna meet some people who are a piece of shit, and if you bend over and spread your cheeks, they will fuck you given the opportunity. So, like, don't do that. If they screw you over once, you can trust that they want to do it again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again.
OBS had a bug that froze his screen so it wasn't recorded. So he decided to download Cbot and just click over a macro for the Kinos completion we all knew until now. Once again, it was accepted, showing him he could get away with way more. And from that point on, he just let loose and cheated.
Interesting analogy. Was I wrong? Did I stutter?
In the tweet longer, he also apologizes to other players and says he wants...
You can tell just from like, y'all, it's pattern recognition. Dude, it's like people can't draw conclusions. Honestly, the most effective part of what Space UK did was his social engineering, the way that he was able to manipulate people to be on his side. Space UK is now on this redemptive journey, and many members of the GD community are starting to welcome him back. Like, okay, so take box 1 and paste it on box 2. Can you kind of see? Nah, it's probably not social engineering. I think he's just a good guy now.
To make up for it by paying back the money that he made for his YouTube videos. This means Trick, Sonic, Doggy, Jeller, Crisis, and Skizzle should receive the ad revenue money Space made from stealing their first Victor titles. Honestly, respect for trying to pay the money back. It shows to me that he at least to some...
But again, I've talked about this before. That's the bare minimum. You have to realize if he didn't do this, when you're talking about a narcissist, if he didn't do this, people would be demanding for this guy's head on a stake. And that's the thing. We can argue, like, if bad people do good things, does that, like, nullify the fact that the good thing was done? I don't think so. Like, yes, it is still good that he did this, but, like, I'm saying that if he didn't do this, it would have been so much more detrimental to his image than if he did it. And I am saying that from what I have learned about Space UK, he did this to save face. which maybe is speculative on my part, but I like, dude, it's like when the whole story is laid out for you, it's like, okay. Did he really have an option here, or was it just like the easiest option to be like, fine, I'll give the money back. Fine, fine, fine. You guys are angry, I'll give the money back.
Some extent realizes the damage that he's caused over the years. I can only confirm that so far, Trick has been the only person that has received money from Space. So it seems like he's going through with what he said. However, even if he pays the money back, I don't think that makes up for what he did.
I
agree, Samifying.
know if I would like accept that money from him.
Yeah, dude, W Doggy, it's blood money at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's dirty money. It's dirty money at the end of the day. Give it to charity. Don't give it to the players. Give it to the charity or something.
But I was like, at least he's trying to do something.
What really sticks out to me in this entire situation is how reluctant.
I like how most of the players are just like, most of these people are just like, I mean, at least he's trying, I guess. You can just tell everybody's like, this fucking guy sucks.
Space was to tell the truth throughout all of this. It took multiple stages of exposals for him to admit what we think is the entire truth right now. I don't think he would have ever come out with this unless he was caught. And even at that point, he still tried to damage control. He still tried to play it off. With the first click delay exposal, he tried getting away with saying everything after him completing the entire main list was cheated, because he apparently had gotten bored of the game at that point. Upon being questioned why he didn't just cheat the verification of a new top 1 level above Acheron, he said he didn't want to do it to a verification. Even at that point, he was still lying straight into the face.
Dude, isn't life fun when you can just make stuff up? If you just don't care about, like... This is the thing that's crazy to me. Maybe some people in chat can relate to this. Like, if I even, like... I learned as a kid, if I even said like a small lie, my conscience would eat me up about it. Like if my parent asked me something and I was like, no, I would feel terrible. But there are some people who are just like, wait, someone can ask me something and I can just like say not the truth and get away with it. Wait, this is fun. Psychopath. Because guess what, people? Most people are good people and they will accept what you say as fact because in their heads, they're like, oh, if I'm asking this guy and kind of like calling him out on something and trying to get to the bottom of something, why would he lie to me? Oh, why would this guy lie to me? He has nothing to gain here. Why would he lie to me? We're all a bit naive in that way because the thing is, when you're a person who has any sort of conscience, it's very hard for you to understand how others could not have a conscience. And so we get manipulated a little easier as a result.
Of his close friend.
It's a confirmation bias or survivorship bias.
Reassuring them that it doesn't go that deep and everything else is still...
Yeah, exactly. I can't even think of hacking, like the amount of dread knowing that you hacked that. Exactly. Most of us would that is a deterrent for a lot of us for why we don't do bad behavior is we're just like, oh, I could never live with myself. I could say this lie. I could never live with myself though. I could no clip a level. I could never live with myself. You know what I'm saying? Like outside of just like, oh, that would make me a piece of shit. Most of us are just like, oh, how would I live with myself? And so we don't do it.
Legit. When evidence came out to disprove even that, he finally dropped.
In life, there are some situations where you have to lie, though. I think you should go to therapy. That's crazy.
The ball and said everything was cheated and deleted his YouTube channel. Space has since then created a new YouTube channel where he streamed himself attempting to beat the golden legit this time as a sort of way to add closure to his entire situation. And the craziest thing is, on the 5th of May, he actually did it.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Looking at all of these comments, I get a really uneasy feeling. Almost like people forgave Space a bit too quickly maybe. Maybe I just have trust issues.
No, you don't have trust issues, Samifying. You are right. Is that really all it takes, chat? Like if someone killed somebody and then they became a doctor and performed open heart surgery, that just absolves them of their crimes? Really? You're like, oh, they're a doctor now. Wow, they're helping people not die. I don't understand how some people process reality. It makes zero fucking sense to me.
But I cannot turn around and just forgive someone knowing how
Besides, he said sorry, so it's fine. Yes, that definitely makes sense.
this guy went and how many achievements he's stolen just for his personal gain. And even now, I still have reason to not believe him and what he said in his tweet longer. Because look at this. This is the in-game leaderboard of the level Cataclysm. Look who we have here at rank 120. And just under Space, we have a player called Nuggles, who thankfully uploaded their Cataclysm completion to YouTube so we can date it. Thanks, Nuggles. This means Space beat Cataclysm.
Yeah, I like Chew's chat message. I see a lot of the chat messages, but I do agree with what Chew says. I also believe there are situations where lying is the objectively better thing to do, but those situations would be very specific and or rare. Thank you. That was very succinctly put. Like, sometimes I talk about stuff, and obviously, y'all, there are outliers, there are exceptions every time. Like, if we want to split hairs and get super detailed about stuff, yes, we can all make up situations, but can we recognize for a second that this is not one of those scenarios? I know a lot of us have those brains where we're super creative and excited, and we're just like, oh, well, like, you know, it's software engineer brain. You like to come up with edge cases of use cases, right? I get that. My brain's the same way. But can we all accept that across the board, 99.99999% of the time, like, this does not fall under one of those things of like, oh yeah, you know, space lied. What is it? Well, what you do? Sometimes you lie about stuff. Yeah, man.
This is roughly around June 2020, which would predate his golden completion. This means that the golden wasn't even his 5th ever demon. The one claim to fame that Space used to get notoriety is now shrouded in doubt for me, just because of this. Even in 2023, he still claimed to have never beaten Cataclysm, dropping it after getting 77% apparently. But here we have the...
I'm going to be real. You can hear on the golden completion, he was genuinely sad. He said, I should have done this 2 years ago. He beat Acheron legit. I understand you feel like he did some messed up stuff, but at the end of the day, he is still human now. He is still human. I would just argue that there are humans who take advantage of other humans. And I think that part of being able to preserve your own sanity and your own well-being in this life is understanding that there are narcissistic and manipulative people out there. And I think that that is great that you have capacity to be able to forgive those people and assume the best in them. I am not able to do that. I've had enough people in my life who have screwed me over and shown their cards that I now recognize these patterns when I see them in life. And maybe part of it is being older, maybe part of it is being unk, but like eventually life is going to keep teaching you this lesson of, oh, when someone is a shitty asshole to you, you have to believe them the first time. Because if you don't believe them the first time, they're going to keep being a shitty asshole to you because you forgiving them just gives them more opportunity to do that.
In-game leaderboard clearly disproving just that, unless he also used no-clip cheats for Cataclysm and just never recorded or tried to pass it off as legit, which would open an entire new bag of worms that I don't feel like going anywhere.
The immediate response of I think you need to go to therapy was kind of harsh. I don't think so. I think everybody here should go to therapy. I've gone to years of therapy. Has anyone... I'm starting to think some people in chat haven't gone to therapy. Every single person should go to therapy. If you haven't been to therapy before, go to therapy. For the love of God. I need people to stop hearing the words go to therapy and hearing it as harsh. It is a message of love.
I just have a gut feeling that he still hasn't told the entire truth. I personally don't believe him when he says he accidentally no-clipped the golden. And I also don't believe that he got a frozen OBS bug on his Keynote completion. Let me show you the main reason why I just cannot believe this guy, right next to comments that I found on YouTube or Twitter.
I agree, Jay. Better safe than sorry.
Remember when I said earlier that the best way to lie is to tell the truth? Here's what I meant by that. This guy literally said he was cheating over the years, and we all wrote it off as his funny, sarcastic way of making fun of people trying to claim that he's not legit. And there's so many of them. Like, What?
The evidence is all there, man. If you want to forgive this guy, I don't know how to help you.
Do you think he deserves a second chance?
Nope.
Oh no, absolutely not. No.
W
people
Wolves!
cheat like this, especially this much, like hiding it for 3 years. Just no.
In GD, if you are caught as a hacker, that is like your legacy. Like Andromeda confessed to hacking and rebeat everything legitimately. People still view him as a hacker.
I don't think that he should be engaging with the community now, but I'd like to see him make some sort of return maybe a few years from now, and sort of how Cyclic did when he hacked Sonic Wave.
Yeah, no, he just really needs actual consequences to learn from this, I think. That's the best thing we can do for him as friends.
It's something I'll have to think about over the course of a long time. See how things pan
I don't have to think about it.
out, I think.
Is there any chance for redemption for him?
In my eyes, not at all. If I'm honest, I don't think I would have any respect for him as a player, even if he was legit. I don't see any chance of him ever coming back to the community, and I honestly think it's disrespectful of him to even try to make any sort of comeback right now.
I agree. I know that this was years ago. I still think that what he's doing is disrespectful.
Okay.
If his closest friends don't show him what lying really does, and we just were too lenient about it, then this might happen again with him in the future with some other thing, you know.
No. I don't think there is. But if he tried, just kept beating levels and stuff, there would be a side of the community that would forgive him, because that's what always happens.
I mean, just personally, friend to friend, I think I'll forgive him. But yeah, I also think I've just developed a little bit of Stockholm syndrome towards him.
You definitely did. I feel bad for Crisis. This happens all the time. It's really hard to be able to hold your friends to the standards you hold to strangers. It's very hard. It's really hard to do that, chat. It's really hard. Most of us are just like, oh, but they're my friend. They're not, man. I said this earlier in the video. The way he conducted himself was not the way a friend would. That is no friend of mine.
Honestly.
Okay, but you guys are not.
But and the fact that he's even able to kind of laugh about and joke about, although I think I've developed Stockholm syndrome. Yes, that's exactly what happened. Yes, you're joking about it, but yeah. Yeah.
Hanging out in VCs anymore, right?
Not really. No.
Do you miss doing that?
I do. I really do.
Crisis seems like a really great friend to have.
Yeah, that being said, like, this is what I'm talking about, chat. That is the greatest concrete example of it. Good people, good, kind-hearted people, they get taken advantage in that way. Because this guy's like, well, we're friends. Why wouldn't I forgive my friend? And this is no hate on Crisis. I've been that way before, too. But that is what people like this operate on. They operate on other people's good nature without wanting to extend any good nature from themselves. I can't make you guys understand that. You have to live life, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. That is the way it works. That is the way people like this will take advantage of people like Crisis. And that's not Crisis's fault. I'm saying W Crisis. That is not Crisis's fault. I feel bad for Crisis.
Listen, I care about this game. Geometry Dash and its players have done so much for me over the years, from helping me find my passion to create, to linking me up with so many people that I can now call my closest friends. I wanted to take this moment and snapshot it in time. This way future generations of players have an accurate account of all the context and emotions involved. It is important now to not lose trust in top players. Instead, we should go support the ones that you truly think deserve it. From the players mentioned in this video to other insane anomalies like Vision, who just the other day beat the level Silent Clubstep in over 800,000 attempts. With the new update releasing in October, I'm predicting that this game and all its players have a very healthy future ahead. So let's make sure that we keep shooting for those stars. Keep pushing the limits and explore new boundaries.
Absolutely.
We let nobody tell us that we shouldn't care about a $4 mobile game, because it is the best $4 mobile game out there.
Great note to end it on.
What are you doing? Wait, what is that? No, stop!
Was that a pipe bomb? Geometry Dash is over. Y'all subscribe to Samifying. That was a great video. Yeah, I mean, just to end it, y'all, I will repeat what I said earlier in the video. I'm done reacting to Space UK stuff. This guy is irredeemable in my book. If there are members of the community who want to forgive him, that's fine. I straight up hate this guy. I don't like what he did. I think what he did was horrible. And it's not a way that you should ever treat people in one isolated situation. And the magnitude that he did it over the course of a long period of time is evidence enough to me that this is a bad person that people shouldn't associate themselves with. That's my opinion. You're allowed to walk the road of like everybody deserves a second chance. My opinion, I don't think this guy deserves a second chance. I don't want to cover him on my channel anymore. I know we talked about me reacting to the secret way or what the interview with Space UK. I don't really want to hear his side of things. I already know who he is. I think he's a jackass and he's done things that are absolutely deplorable and they run completely perpendicular to what I value in life and what my morals are. So I'm good on this guy. I'm completely good on this guy. I'm thankful that we got to have this conversation and kind of learn more about this blight on GD's history together, but I'm never going to talk about this guy again. And I don't want you guys to just know that if you suggest videos about this guy for me to react to, I will not react to them. I think this guy is absolute garbage. You're allowed to have your own opinions. I think he's garbage. He's not a bad person. He did something bad. I disagree. I think that sometimes bad people excuse their bad actions by saying, I'm just a good guy who did something bad. I don't think so. At this scale, at this degree, I think he's a bad person. That's my takeaway. That's the end of the video. Subscribe to Samifying. Like the video. Great work. Thank you for documenting this and representing it in such a meaningful and emotional way. I'm really grateful to have gotten to react to it. Woo! That was a heavy react, chat. Good God, that was a heavy react. All right. I'm going to take a quick 3-minute ad break because I have to go pee. I'll be right back. We'll hop into 9 circles, okay? I'm good on cheating videos, guys. I don't want to watch those anymore. Yo, really quick, chat. After the ad break, I just want to have a quick final word on the whole React thing. Yeah, I've reacted to one of Zeus's videos, Jamal. I'd be excited to react to more of his videos. All right, I just wanted to say before signing off of this React video, I know I said that I don't want to react to any more Space UK videos. I know that there have also been other videos suggested for me to react to about other cheaters or hackers. I don't want to react to any videos like that ever again. I want my reacts to be able to highlight the things that we love about this game and the people we admire in this community. I understand the morbid curiosity a lot of viewers have, and oftentimes negativity and negative topics can get more engagement and that sort of thing. After reacting to those 2 Space UK videos, I'm honestly good. I don't want to highlight bad actors like that more than they've already been highlighted. I want to be able to celebrate this game and the people who actively make it better. I do appreciate the people who make those documentaries, but I simply would prefer not to react to them. I think it's important to document those things, but I would prefer, as a reactor, to not focus my reacts on that. I just have no interest in that. The only reason I say that is because I know that there are a few other cheater hacker videos that have been suggested in our Discord, and I just want to keep it a buck with all of you that I will no longer be reacting to those kinds of videos. Hope that makes sense. All right, y'all. Because this game's too cool, and there are so many awesome players and creators. It's not worth it, man. All right, we need to run a quick prediction, chat. Our last prediction was, can we get a new best of 83%? I think we should just try to beat the wave part. Can we beat the whole wave part? And if we do that, we'll create a new prediction. The prediction's up, chat. Go ahead and vote. The wave with the mini wave, like I said, 40 to 83%. The whole wave section. A lot of naysayers. Actually, it's pretty even split. I should probably warm up. Well, should I warm up with the layout mode? I don't... Oh, sorry, I wasn't running the timer. For those of you who didn't catch the end of last stream, I turned off layout mode because I want to start practicing the actual level. Bang. I don't want to do the whole cube part, but I do kind of just want to see if I can at least get the transition out of it. That'll make my brain feel better. Nah, that's not our goal for today. Never mind. All right, chat, how we doing? It's time to reset the vibe. Dude, that Space UK video took a lot out of me. I'm not gonna lie. That seriously bummed me out. What's up, Bless Comp? 90% of the difficulty in 9 circles is the lights, to be honest. Dude, I agree. It's kind of a lot, no? Woo! Hold on, I gotta pull up my TikTok chat. Bang. This is the hardest part for me. I actually don't know. Have I cleared this part, chat? At all? If a top player offers to coach you, would you be interested, or would that still be backseating? I mean, that wouldn't be backseating. I don't know if at the current level I'm at in this game, I would be interested in someone coaching me, to be honest. Why can't attractive people be good at games to get to the other side? Do you hear the song of the game? Because I don't. No, I listen to a playlist. Game Chops on YouTube. When I'm just kind of practicing. Do y'all hear the music right now? What's up, Quillis Dasher? Yeah, exactly. To what Dapper Furret said, we're trying to get a feel now. Yo, that was huge. That was our best today. What's up, Omer? How's it going? We here? Nice. W runs? It's not looking bad. I thought it would be a bit more of an adjustment once we added the deco, but... I mean, it's certainly more of an eyesore for me. Okay. I think the prediction is almost over. 77% have said no, 23% have said yes. Thanks for the vote of confidence, chat. Appreciate y'all. Who needs ops when you have a chat like mine? Okay, I'm gonna practice. I want to be a little more mindful today about hopping between start positions so I'm not like grinding one part too long. I want to keep the muscle memory kind of juicing, bro. I need to remember how to do this. Dude, the lights literally almost break. Oh my God. I've never connected this that well. Bang. Oh. Bro, I keep getting Gooner stream suggested to me on Twitch. Is there a way to block it? I have no idea. Also, I don't know what you're talking about by Gooner streams. Is that your algorithm? Did you just self-report? Do you keep clicking on the Gooner streams? That might be your problem, man. Try talking like Donald Trump. I think I'm good. What's up, Orb Rider? How's it going? Okay, let's get this part. I think we've gotten every single part now, except for that mini wave part. This part's hard. My eyes hurt, chat. My eyes hurt. How do y'all do this without having your eyes bleed? Thoughts? This actually hurts. There actually is a bit of an algorithm on the purple platform. Because it's like viewers you might like in the sidebar. That's sometimes recommended to you. But yeah, I'd say across the board, there isn't too much algorithm, but there is like a bit of like suggested streamers. So younger people eyes, I think. Yeah, that's fair. I might just have unk eyes. They're kind of dried out. Yeah, the constant color changes are brutal. Ah! What's up, McCall? The flashing lights weren't a big problem for me, but it's different for everyone. I don't feel like I have epilepsy or anything, but flashing lights certainly don't feel great on my eyes. Do you know the CEO of Twitch, Dan Clancy, was showing a new Twitch feature and scrolled through his suggested streams and it was all Gooner streams? Yikes. I did not know that. Oh, nice. That's the hard part, man. Because that's like a fake wall. I haven't seen that with the layout. Playing more 9 circle style levels helps the eye-inducing flashes. Yeah, that makes sense. The more you experience something, the less it kind of impacts you. Makes sense. It is a lot, though. On YouTube, I get AI chatbot ads. It's so freaky and dumb. I actually do also get those on YouTube. I get a lot of AI ads on YouTube. It's actually kind of messed up. I think there's been a recent push or change for that. It's kind of strange. AI ads are so dystopic, man. It's so unnerving. Oops. Wait, what are click up ads? I believe in you? Thanks, Bacon or something. I believe in everybody here. Set your mind on your goals and achieve them. Sorry. Wait, genuinely, what are click up ads? How's it going, lazy genius? YouTube ads are such BS, bro. Like, every ad is either a gambling AI or not safe for work ad. Oh, ClickUp's a software? I've never heard of that. Now that we're talking about it, I'm sure the freaking surveillance is going to be like, oh, you've said it out loud? Time to serve you some ads for it. Have y'all ever experienced that? Where you're like talking to your friend about something, and then you pull up your freaking TikTok, and it's like the first thing on your feed, and you're just like, oh, we're all cooked, aren't we? Ooh, almost. That part's so much harder. That was superstition. Passions in your mind. Do you know Jimmy here? No. I was talking to my mom about uni. 3 minutes later, I opened Insta, and the first 2 posts are people who went there saying good things about it. Yeah, exactly. It's like, some people have argued it's because like the algorithms are so good now that they can just like predict what we're going to talk about before we talk about it. I don't know, man. Good SG Plays, how's it going? They're definitely listening. That's what like, I'm not trying to make anyone paranoid, but it feels like the evidence is all there, no? Superstitious they are. I swear I've seen algorithms read my mind. I just can't prove it. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's an interesting thing we're doing. You make any money from streaming? Yes. Have you done the last cube in a run yet? No. I'm just trying to get the whole wave section down. That's the goal for today. Just in the start position, not an actual run. You can do it. Thanks, Merab Ahmed Chidore. Thank you. Could you stop spamming? You can do it. Thank you. I appreciate the support and the enthusiasm, but... Don't ever do fairy dust. I have trauma. That's a level that people have mentioned. I was superstitious. Visions in my mind. Can you believe it's only Tuesday? There was this poster in my high school English class, and it was a cat hanging on a tree, and that was the text. It said, "Can you believe it's only Tuesday?" Think about it a lot. Stevie's such a wonder, on God. Play with layout mode? No, I can't. I already did that. I'm trying to get good now. Also, chat. Another classic example of I was playing this level in layout mode and people were like, stop playing with layout mode. The first stream I'm playing it in not layout mode, we get a chatter like, play in layout mode. What do I do? Someone help me. I can't do anything right on my stream. Look at the quick 3-second video I sent on your Discord. It should teach you how to do the duels easily. I'm good. I will not be doing that. But Tej, you should play from 0. Exactly. King Samelot or Vortrox? There's no context to that chat message. Are you asking me which one I prefer or which one I think is better? I think they're both great streamers and content creators in their own right. This part's hard. The flashing in 9 circles hurts my eyes, but my eyes adapted to it. Yeah, my eyes still gotta adapt. Hey guys, so I know we just got into the gameplay part of the stream. Stop giving me unsolicited advice. It's annoying to me. Thank you. And to my frequent long-term chatters, I'm sorry that we have to have this conversation literally every stream. Isn't it frustrating? I appreciate everybody who's cool here. Yeah, I'm gonna ban this guy. Bye. Some people just don't know how to have a conversation, man. Like, all they can do is just give unsolicited advice. It's like their brain, they feel kind of like a chatbot because they can't say anything else. You know what I mean? How's it going? It's good. How's it going for you? When did you start playing this game? Back in December. No conversation starter, like unsolicited advice? It's kind of terrible. Do you have a favorite level? 9 circles. Yo, have you reacted to a GD colon video? They are peak. I actually plan to. I want to do that. It's on the list. I think we might react to a GD colon video. Do y'all want to see the GD colon video, how Geometry Dash teaches its mechanics tomorrow? Or do you want to see the race to beat Silent Club step? Thoughts? Those are the 2 videos I was considering watching next. Song Club Step 100%. Yeah, people have been waiting for that one for a while. Here, let's run a quick poll because I like y'all. Quick poll on the purple platform. Let me get it up. Tomorrow's React. How GD teaches its mechanics. You know what? I'm just going to say GD colon and race to beat silent club step. Y'all know what I'm talking about. There we go. Go ahead and vote in the poll, y'all. Let me know what you think. I feel like people have been pretty hype about the race to beat silent club step, so we'll probably rip that one tomorrow if I had to guess. If the vibe's been right. I have seen the GD gangster rap a long time ago. I never made an official React video to it, but early on in my GD streams, people would sometimes... I'd get inundated with React requests, and I actually listened to some of them. Why can't I vote, though? If you want to vote, go to the purple platform. That's where my main community is. Sorry. GD colon just whines a bunch? That sounds like an opinion. You should react to the level GD gangster rap auto whenever you're free. It's like you didn't listen to me when I literally just said that I've reacted to that before. My whole theory that chatters don't listen to what I say, they just kind of wait to say what they want to say, has yet again been reinforced. Do you stream on YT? Yeah, I stream on the purple platform, the red app, and TikTok. Dead chatter theory? I'm saying, dude. I do feel like a significant amount of folks in people's chats, they do kind of give off chatbot behavior, no? I'm not saying everybody is, but a few people do give it off. Okay, then you misunderstood me, Ori. I'm saying I didn't react to the song itself. I reacted to the level. That's what I reacted to. We had a misunderstanding then. I watched the level that had the song in it. Why do you call them that? Because it's bad to say the actual names. You get 10 years of bad luck. Y'all, I've explained this basically every single stream. TikTok shadow bans people when they say the names of other platforms. Please stop making me repeat this. Or please stop asking me questions that you could Google and see the AI overview for. Like, you could easily just Google, why don't streamers say the names of... You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting really tired of having to answer people's, like, industry questions. It's my first stream I didn't know. Yes, but every single stream we have first-time chatters who don't know. And that's what I'm arguing. I'm getting tired of having to answer it every single stream. You have to understand that you don't just exist as an individual. You exist as an archetype in a streamer's chat. I know that for you, it feels like you're living a fully individual and unique experience. You're not. You're just... A lot of you exist as data points when you're just kind of the kind of chatter who asks me the same question I've gotten 1,000 times. I'm not saying that to be rude to you. I'm saying that, like, you need to know that that is a question I get literally every single stream. I recognize you're not doing it out of malice in your heart, but the result is the same. I have to deal with answering the question every single stream multiple times. Does that make sense? You should make a QA in your bio for some stuff. Yeah, and people still wouldn't read it. Why does TikTok act like people are going to delete TikTok in a millisecond if they hear a mention of a different platform? I don't know. Platforms are weird like that. How's he meant to know that, though? I don't know, but stop asking me about it. Google it. A lot of you act like the streamer is meant to just be this constant, like, chatbot that answers every single one of your questions you have. And maybe some streamers are fine with doing that. I don't like doing that. I think it's annoying. Would you ever consider going back to the alias Uncle Teej? Okay, so how did you know that that used to be my alias? Have you been doing some deep snooping? Meow, indeed. Teej Unk confirmed. Yeah, my screen name used to be Uncle Teej. I actually predated the Unk meme. That's how you know I'm based. You gotta put some thought into chatting. Thank you, Mr. Kablasti. Yes, for the love of God. Like, we could have stimulating conversations. Instead, we just have people who are just like, I don't really know what Google is or what ChatGPT is. I'll just use the streamer. Oh, what did y'all vote for tomorrow's React? Yeah, it was Race to Beat Silent Club Step. Saw that coming. I saw that one coming. Peak video? Yeah, I'm excited. I think it'll be a little more positive than today, or like the past 2 days Space UK videos, which I'm looking forward to. Not our fault, you're an all-knowing being. Yeah, I realize that I just need to stop answering people's questions is probably the answer, but then when I don't answer people's questions, the same annoying chatter's just like, why are you not answering my questions? Respond. And I'm just like, I'm annoyed. Can't a guy be annoyed and not respond to things that annoy him? No, apparently it makes me an asshole. Did you know? It's gonna be more positive? Yeah, I feel like it's about the players who are racing to beat Silent Club Step now. Which sounds innately more positive to me. W those players. All right, sorry, the Cortegel has been rising. I need to drop it a bit. I need to lock in on this level too. This part's so hard with the deco. Viewers don't know about silent treatment? Yeah, it is crazy. It speaks to how their egos are, is they're just like, that's how unaware they are that they're being annoying. They're just like, oh, I've typed the same chat message 3 or 5 times in a row. Surely the streamer just missed it and isn't deliberately ignoring me. New GD level silent treatment? Could be a banger now. Yo, bro, it's my birthday. Happy birthday. If it is truly your birthday, happy birthday. But I also, to speak to more deranged chatters I have, some people, they make up that it's their birthday because they want attention from the chatter. But I have to think, since you've been a good frequent chatter of mine, you wouldn't lie to me about that. So happy birthday. Hope you're having a great day. If you were a first-time chatter, I would trust you less, but you've been a good chatter, so I trust you. Yeah, exactly, Sans. I appreciate the good people in my community. That's all I can say. I know I get on these diatribes sometimes about how annoying some chatters can be. I want to celebrate the real ones in chat right now. Y'all know who you are? Bang. I use Eclipse. I'm kind of the moon in that way. +2? Thoughts? +2? No, +2. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of Eon. How's it going, sheepy boy? I think Tato's grinding on that right now. Couldn't be me, bro. I can't play a level that's longer than 2 minutes. +1. Thanks, Dapper. +1.99. Hey, I'll take it. You just need big bold text on the screen that says don't ask stupid questions. That also would not work. Because I have the current level we're playing, as well as my best on the level, as well as my current hardest, and we still have people who come in who ask what the current level is, what my best is, and what my current hardest is. So I've already learned this, but I need some people in my chat to also learn this. A lot of people just don't have observational skills, but that's not any of our faults. That's on them. What's up, Xplex? You know? Like, I can't help these people. They got to learn how to help themselves. You can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. I can't hold your hand while you poop. You got to learn how to poop by yourself. You got to be dependent. You got to be potty trained. Streamer can't potty train you. What's up, Hey Duder's Pumpkin? I want to poop by myself, Teej. I'm scared. Well, you got to learn how to do it. I'm not always going to be there. I didn't hear that bits alert, but thank you, Sans. Why did I not hear that bits alert? Did y'all hear that bits alert? Maybe the song covered it. W-bits. By the way, Teej, most of the Geometry Dash community are teenagers, so that should tell you everything. I honestly defy that. When I was a kid, I was pretty mature for my age, and also we had someone who was like 7 or 8 year old. I think his name was Kellen the other day, and he was perfectly well behaved and very respectful. I think people operating behind the excuse that people are younger and they don't know how to behave, I think that's just wrong. I think that regardless of age, there are people who just don't know how to behave themselves. And I think that if you want to be in someone's stream chat, you have to be held to the same standard. If you are an annoying child, that's fine. You'll get banned. But also, if you're an annoying adult, you'll get banned. Is that so crazy? Yeah, I think it was Kellen. All right, let me hop. I was starting to do what for some reason, that first wave part is causing me trouble. That's kind of a hard part, no? I feel like it's my second hardest part behind the mini wave. He's the youngest bloodbath victor? That's based. Ah! Bang! All right, let me practice the frickin' mini wave again. You gotta be careful around TJ? What do you mean? I'm a nice guy. Y'all think I'm not a nice guy? It's just like, you haven't been in every single one of my streams. Keep in mind, I've streamed for almost 1,000 hours over the past year. The things that piss me off about chatters is stuff that's like, I was so nice the first like 5,000 times I got the question, and I've since gotten like more blunt about how it annoys me. A lot of y'all haven't been here. I used to be even more accommodating than I currently am. I used to like respond to literally every single chat message, and then I literally drove myself insane doing that, so I stopped doing it. Like, I feel like I'm actually pretty reasonable. You ever played any of the God of War games? Yeah, they're all right. I like how you figured out the dual wave yourself while everyone says you should do it different. W independence. Yeah, it's almost like I've been playing this game for a couple hundred hours now, and I've already figured everything else out. People just don't think, man. They're just like, hey, you don't know how to play this part. Even though you've already beaten other levels, I'm gonna help you. Sorry, I can't rehash this conversation for the 5,000th time. People are just dumb. Uninformed about social behavior, streams have different customs to real conversations. Young people usually don't have the understanding, but that doesn't have to be the case. I mean, I would argue that, like, stream doesn't really have that much different expectations from regular conversation. I think, honestly, if people treated stream chat more like a real conversation, they'd be better off. I actually think the problem is that people think that the expectation is different than a real conversation. People are like, oh, I'm in a streamer's chat right now, so I can be a bit more of a insufferable asshole than I would in real life. I think that's actually part of the problem. If you viewed me as like a person instead of a cartoon character, I think we'd be better off. Like, if some people were like, oh, if I said this to someone in real life, would I annoy them? I feel like it would rectify a lot of the annoying chatters we get. But they don't do that, I suppose. Joy bait greater than rage bait? Yeah, y'all are allowed to joy bait me. I'm fine with being baited. I would just rather be joy baited than people like trying to get a freaking crash out of me. I think that's cringe. What do you think of the chat on popular streamers like XQC? Honestly, I'm a little too focused on what I'm doing to give too much thought into that. If I can be so honest. I don't have a fully formed opinion on that because I simply don't care about it. I care more about my chat than any other streamer's chat. Unless it's like positive, because I see some streamers like, I want my chat to be like Northern Lions chat eventually, where like all my chatters are very clever and witty and we can banter with each other and all of our banter is like very good. We get that sometimes here, but it's like few and far between. But I also recognize that's something that's just going to take time for us to build together, because you don't get a witty chat like that overnight. You get 1 or 2 witty chatters and the rest are kind of just doing their own thing, which is fine. But as for like big streamers and their annoying chats, I don't really think about it that deeply. I think more about the kind of chat I want, the kind of chat I want versus thinking about the chat that I don't want. Which I do think having a chat where everyone's just kind of insufferable and loud and annoying, I do think that that's like not what I want. That's why I ban people who annoy me. I recognize how that might upset or be misunderstood by some people, but like I want my chat to be I don't just want my chat to be a cool place for me to have banter with people. I want it to be a cool place for people to chat in. You know what I'm saying? And when a lot of people are annoying in chat, that makes it a lot less of a cool place to hang out. The same way in real life, like if there are a bunch of annoying people in the room, most people are going to see that room and walk past it instead of walk into the room and, you know, pick up a beverage and start talking to those annoying people. You know, I feel like it's just basic human behavior. People want to take part in a room that seems fun to take part in. They don't want to, if they walk into a room and everyone's annoying, they kind of want to walk out. That's at least how I am. I have to think others are that way. I mean, hey, there's more good chatters than bad ones. There's starting to be. I am kind of happy about that. I feel like in recent weeks, our chat culture has gotten better. There were a few weeks, even like a month or 2 ago, where I was really struggling. I was just like, geez, dude, I love streaming. The people in my chat are really fucking annoying to me. What's the plan for after 9 circles? We're going to jump to Magma Bound, then we're going to jump to Bloodbath. Bloodbath is first extreme? Damn, that's what they say. Can't wait for Magma Bound? Yeah, I'm excited. Thought you would have done like Cataclysm. No, I heard that level isn't super fun. Yeah, exactly, for it. You gotta be good about de-weeding. If you don't de-weed, it can get out of hand really fast, especially at our small size. I'm just a small streamer with a big heart, folks. What can I freaking say? We gotta work together to make the chat and stream experience that we want to have, no? Wait, Cataclysm was hack verified? Does that mean, I mean, I guess that's self-explanatory. Like they didn't do it legitimately? That's crazy. Did you enjoy Skeletal Shenanigans? I liked it fine, but it lagged a lot on my setup. If it wasn't lagging, I feel like I would have enjoyed it more. But that's not the level's fault, it's my computer's fault. Almost every level back then was hack verified? RIP. I'm a bit of a hack verified. I don't know what that means. I just kind of said it. Sorry. The old version of Kata was hacked. The new one was verified legit. There's a new version of it? Damn, bro. Every day I learn about something. Do y'all like learning about stuff? Sorry, of course you do. Y'all play GD. Of course you love learning about stuff. Y'all like learning about how our universe operates? At a micro and macro level? I feel like it's interesting, man. Grease in the groove, chat. Good luck on 9 circles. Thanks, Ryan. Low key. True. I like learning if it's not in school. Based. I think learning's fun when it gets to be something that you are passionate and interested in learning. I think the difficult part about school is that a lot of time the stuff you're learning about is against your will. Like it's stuff that you didn't denote interest in or explicitly denote your own interest in. I think that's why it can kind of be like pulling teeth for some people. That's how it felt for me. I'm something of a learner myself. Ooh. I don't know, man. This level's just fun to play. Am I crazy? Isn't this like lo-fi, chill Game Chops music and yapping and just kind of like practicing the wave section of 9 circles kind of a vibe? Am I crazy? Sometimes the teachers are just straight buns. Yeah, that's hard too. I feel like that's another kind of survivorship bias thing. I feel like a lot of people's opinions on their favorite subjects in school can be based on whether or not they had a dog shit teacher. It's like, do you really hate history or do you just hate the way Miss Rebecca used to treat you? You know what I'm saying? If you had a good teacher, you might like history more. I think about that a lot. Exactly. And by the same token, a good teacher, I've talked about this before on stream, like a teacher where their passion is like magnetic and contagious, it can change the whole way that you think about something. By the same token, imagine if Miss Rebecca's a sweetheart who loves the frickin' Middle Ages. You'll probably like the Middle Ages more. It's crazy how it can be that simple. At the end of the day, we're all such products of how people treat us. If someone treats you well, you have a better time. If someone treats you like a dick, you tend to kind of grab the surroundings that were also surrounding that situation where someone treated you a dick and also paint those in more of a negative light. We are interesting creatures. Will you ever do a meet and greet with your fans? Maybe someday. I feel like I need to have a little more motion before that, you know? Like, I could see myself going to, like, TwitchCon or something someday. I feel like that would be cool. But I feel like I'm still a small streamer. I feel like I'm not at that level yet. We're still kind of a niche. The ones who know TeejBall know TeejBall, but still kind of a cult classic, you know? If you were a teacher, would you be called TeejVeen? If I told you you're not the first chatter to make that joke, would you believe me? I'm not saying that to make you feel bad. I'm saying great minds think alike. TeejVeen is an epithet that has come up in chat before. You look like you'd be funny as fuck in real life? No, yeah, I mean, I'm mostly... A lot of people are, like, different when they're on camera versus off camera. Like, you can ask Quinn. I'm pretty much the same. I ramble on and on about stuff that most people don't care about, and I like shoehorning jokes into places where most people probably wouldn't shoehorn jokes. That's kind of just how I operate. Yeah, exactly. To what Halab said, just watch the stream. I'm not really putting on an act too much. Like, sometimes I'm a little more energetic than I guess I otherwise would be, but like, I think I'm pretty what you see is what you get at this point. TJ most real streamer, to be honest. Yeah, that's Right Stage Arts. That's my IRL friend Julian. He knows. Like, I've gotten my reps in at this point. I feel like there was a bit of a pretense that I had, especially when I first started streaming, but now I feel really natural when I stream. I just kind of fucking talk and I don't overthink it. You know what to do with that big fat butt. I like when streamers are being themselves. You seem like that type of person. Yeah, I just don't really like putting on an act. I feel like as someone who went to theater school and someone who like grew up as an actor, I like playing a character or whatever. That's why there are parts of my stream where I like to slip into characters like, you know, like I like to do that at times, but I prefer being in my default version of myself where I'm just kind of myself. But I do see some streamers where you can tell like their whole stream is kind of a persona they put on. And I'm not saying that to judge them. I'm just saying from my perspective, it seems very exhausting. Like streaming is already kind of like a sport in my opinion. Like it's already a feat of athleticism. You can disagree with that, but it's fine. Like trying to keep people entertained and to like yap this long is like a feat of humanity and energy. If I had to also keep up a character persona the whole time, I would be tired. So honestly, in a way, I respect people who can keep up that persona because it's something I can't do. Like, I think they're expending more energy than I am. And I feel like I'm expending a lot of energy when I do this. If you collabed with McDonald's, the name for your burger would be TeejVeen. I suppose you're right. There's no evidence to the contrary, right? Dude, people love making puns out of my name. I think the greatest surprise about streaming was I did not think that so many people would enjoy just like doing little portmanteaus of my name with other things. I think it's interesting. I don't know. I think characters can be done well, like Scott the Woz. Yeah, I wasn't saying that characters can't be done well. I'm saying from my point of view, it seems tiring. Again, I was saying a quite nuanced point that I feel like was once again boiled down by chat by like, oh, you're being critical of this thing. No, I recognize caricatures, especially in terms of content creators, are fun. For example, someone who's a VTuber who plays a character, I do not judge them for that. I think that's great. I am merely stating from my point of view, it seems a little exhausting. But exhausting is not synonymous with bad, in my opinion, or lesser than. Does that make sense? Oh, you're responding to a chatter? That's my bad. Now you're good. That also happens sometimes. There's so much stuff going on in the chat, but also on stream that sometimes I misread a chat message. That's my bad. But we all do that, right? Like when we're missing context, we kind of add our own. W! That was a new best for today on this freaking mini wave. That's my bad. Did you all know that I can also be wrong sometimes? I know sometimes on stream it feels wrong. When I'm wrong, I like to admit to it. I know that's a toxic behavior of mine. Honestly, y'all, I have to piss again. Quick 3-minute ad break. I'll be right back. I have to piss again. I'm sorry. But a new best ain't bad. Wait, what are you, a human? Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, we're back again. Wait, can I jam out that song really quick? Do y'all mind? No, not the extended. If you're not on the purple platform, you'll be confused right now. Hey, yeah. Ow. Oh my God, we're back again. Got a question for you, better answer now. This shit kind of peak, bro. I just joined back. What the fuck's happening? God forbid I catch the vibe, bro. Yeah. Oh my God, hit the riff. Am I sexual? Dude, the VOD of this is going to be so funny because the song's not going to record. You got to watch on the purple platform to hear the song. Sorry. No copyrighted music on the red app. All right. Oh, the breakdown? Oh my God. Dude, they should make a level to this song. No! Rock your body right. Did you guys have a good time? Was that fun? Amazing? Yeah. Nothing like some good old copywritten music. I didn't have a good time, I had a great time, W. And we're chilling. What if chat makes a level called Teej Circles and uses that song and you verify it? The problem is, like, then that video would get demonetized if the song was in the level. That's the only issue. Okay, I feel like I have this part down. Let me go back to this again. Backstreet's back, all right? No! I'm not gonna lie. Listening to copywritten music while practicing levels, I may have just unlocked a new meta for me. That was so fun. I could literally do that for hours. Back when I was a kid, this is gonna show how unk I was. I used to just pull up like Microsoft Paint and draw pictures while listening to music that me and my family downloaded on Napster. It was awesome, bro. I love playing video games while listening to music. It's one of... I think it's one of the best things you can do in this life. Yeah, the song can only be used if it's on Newgrounds, on God. Someone would have to upload it to Newgrounds. Oh my God, you really just unked? Yeah, some people don't even know what Napster is. Except when they watch The Social Network and they know that Justin Timberlake is the Napster guy. Napster predated LimeWire, which also some of you are too young to even know what LimeWire is. Basically, what you need to understand is that music didn't used to be easily accessible and distributed in file format, which I know is crazy for some of you. Some of you are just like, what? Because now you can just freaking load up. There are multiple platforms where music is streamable. Our heads are grown on the shoulders of giants. That did not used to be a thing. Back in my day, you had to buy the CD and then rip it. Well, buy it, rip it, burn it, whatever, how the song goes. You'd burn it. Well, no, you'd rip it, and then you'd have all the song files, and then you would share those files. But you needed the CD. You couldn't do it without the CD. Come on. I feel like this is interesting, but I feel like some of you just have no historical context for this, so you're probably just like... I think it's interesting, man. The times change so fast. It used to be you had a CD, and when you got a scratch on that CD, one of your favorite songs, you would memorize one of your favorite songs with the freaking like CD, disc skip that was in the song because your version of it had a skip in it because of a physical hardware failure. Y'all don't have that anymore. Everything you guys listen to is pristine now. It can't be harmed. You don't know. You don't know jack. You don't even know the half of it. All right, I think I lost all of you on that. Sorry, chat. I assume everyone's just like... I never used CDs as a kid, but I certainly remember that with DVDs. Yeah. DVDs were the video version, basically. It's okay, I forgive you. It's the same as it ever was, man. The older generations, they always... I remember one time my dad, like, he wrote like a whole page of stuff about like when me and my sister were like around the age, a little under the age of 10, he was like, I think my kids don't understand that like the way I grew up was different from the way they grew up. So I'm gonna write like a little page about like, back then I didn't have this. We had a radio. We used to sit around the radio and listen to sports and that kind of thing. And we were like, I remember him trying to get us to appreciate that. And we were just like, that's stupid. That's old shit. Why would we care about old shit? But now that I'm unk, I'm like, oh, I get it. It's cool to look back at history and see how things have changed because it opens your mind to the possibility and understanding of how things can continue to change and develop over the course of human history. And that's cool. You might not think it's cool now, but one day, ooh, your lower back is going to be aching and you're going to be like, damn, that's cool now. What medium are you at, Teej? Ooh, we got to catch you up on quite a bit, don't we? This is 9 circles. Yeah, VHS tapes had a whole moment, bro. Like you used to have to physically rewind those things. You didn't just like, you couldn't just like pop it in and play it from the beginning. You had to like physically rewind them. Y'all don't understand. And the craziest thing is you could override VHS tapes. You could like record something else onto the VHS tapes. Isn't that cool? Like the fucking precipice of us switching from physical to digital media is so interesting. Watch a documentary on it. I lived it, so I don't have to watch a documentary. You new heads, you need to watch a documentary on it. It's so intriguing. Someone forgot about B? I think most of us did. Truth be told. Vinyls are still cool. Vinyls are old enough that they're like retro. But also it's like, now it exists as like, there's digital, and then if you want a physical release, vinyl is kind of the thing, you know? Whereas before, when we lived in the non-digital age, there were many options for physical releases for things, which is crazy. You had freaking cassettes, you had freaking CDs, you had freaking vinyl, you had, dude, there's so many different phases of physical media existed. I think you can still get CDs of stuff, but it's certainly not as it was. And that was also, I mean, people have talked about this before, but that was also a beautiful thing. Like, chat, you don't understand, like, our music taste wasn't determined by our TikTok For You pages. It was determined by like, okay, you grabbed like a random CD from a bargain bin at Best Buy, and that determined your musical taste for like the next 10 months. You understand? It was such a beautiful time. Now it's just like, it's the burden of knowledge, right? It's like you could listen to literally any single song in the course of human history at the click of a finger. It's like the Fairly Odd Parents joke where he's just like, in the future, there'll be over 600 TV channels. Far out, but nothing to watch. Nah! I'm so unked today. Isn't that awesome though? It's awesome, but you have to understand the responsibility behind that. When you have nothing but decisions to make, you can get easily analysis paralysis from all the decisions you have to make. It is awesome, but it's also a lot of responsibility to be held in the hands of the individual consumer. That's why so many people get stuck in the classic Netflix spiral of like, what should I watch? It's not your fault. It's just, back in the day, we didn't really have that many options. You'd pick one option and you'd kind of live with the consequences of it for a long period of time, and you'd kind of just be okay with that. It was beautiful. Now it's like you click into a video and you're just like, I don't really want to watch this video. Backspace. Let me try a different one. You can't tell me that that don't fundamentally change the structure of how a human brain functions and operates. No wonder a lot of us are on this like spectrum of ADHD. It's no wonder. Yeah, now we have a bunch of AI slop too. That's like a whole nother layer to it. Suffice to say, I would just argue the merit of being able to curate your own experience. I recognize the difficulty of being able to do that in today's day and age. But I think it's all the more important to be aware of not just letting the algorithms do your dirty work. Oh, yeah. Like, I do think it's important to experience the novelty of just kind of seeking something out yourself and dealing with the repercussions of deciding yourself to either listen to it if it's music, watch it if it's a movie. You know, the fact that it's a novelty now to pick a random movie and not look up the Metacritic or Rotten Tomatoes before you watch it and just kind of live with it. That didn't used to be a novel experience, but now it is. But try it sometime. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool not knowing. It's cool opening up a box of chocolates and not knowing what you're going to get. I'd recommend it. Forrest Gump said that. Forrest Gump said that in a day and age where life really was like a box of chocolates. But now life isn't so much like a box of chocolates. Life is like a box of chocolates in that you see the packaging of the chocolate via YouTube thumbnail and you pretty much know exactly what you're going to get, which is part of the problem. I'm radicalizing you again. Sorry. Oh, crap. We're almost at the 10-hour mark. Damn. Forrest Gump's a great movie. Yeah. The option we often overlook is to make a decision quickly, despite it often being one of the best. Yeah, I do think that's like, if we were doing a tier list of decision making, I do think just like making a snap decision is underrated in the current day and age. I think a lot of people put too much preciousness into the quality of the decision they have to make, versus just ripping a decision is so much more often more important than simply not making a decision. You know what I'm saying? You could spend your whole lifetime procrastinating making a decision, but you could also just spend the next 0.1 milliseconds making it. Isn't that kind of beautiful? Get out of your own way type beat. I only watch movies if I know it's good because people now say they don't want to waste time, but they still do. But that's the thing I'm arguing. I think that the idea that your time is only best spent by watching something that other people have predetermined to give you value, I think that that is a fallacy. I think that it is up to each of us as an individual to find our own value that is expressed in the things we consume. And that is an art that a lot of people have lost, but it is something that literally you can decide to do tomorrow if you simply choose to. Like, you can watch a bad movie and still have a good time watching the bad movie if you choose to have a good time and to extract value from it. I would argue that a lot of reason why people can't extract value from it is because people have deterministically said, hey, this thing has no value, don't worry about this one. But that can erode your brain. When your whole life is built around, well, I only want to watch stuff that's worthy of my time, your time kind of intrinsically starts to lose its own meaning. You're like, okay, if I have to only watch the good stuff, what is the good stuff? And then suddenly it becomes even more important for like people to be able to tell you what the good stuff is. And then you kind of lose your own opinions. Then you're trapped in the void between who you once were and who you thought you might be. Nah, I'm probably wrong. I'm just joking. Probably not that deep, right? Ooh, I got to a new best. People watch bad movies for fun too. Yeah, and I would just recommend more people do that. I think it's important to be able to appreciate a bad movie the same way you can appreciate a good one. You know what I'm saying? I think the net benefit of being able to enjoy more stuff that is in our reality is you get to enjoy more things. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm always a proponent for like trying to find the value in something and to understand it versus just dismissing it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's easy to dismiss things. I don't even watch movies. Also an option. It's definitely not that deep. Good luck. Unfortunately, everything is that deep. Try as we might, year after year, we fight against it. Unfortunately, things are that deep and deeper. We are really losing our originality. Uh-oh. Damn, my name really works with a lot of words. I'm learning. Dude, that 75% so hard. Could you sometime add, like, what is your record from a start position? Add it to there if you understand I'm really bad at explaining. No, I understand you. Probably not. I'm more worried about specifically the best of the overall level. It's that TeejVeen. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Thanks for being so respectful. Some people, they give me feedback on what they would like for me to add to the stream, and then I'm like, oh, I don't really want to do that. Is that okay? And then they're just like, I'm gonna fucking go insane! And I'm like, oh. So thank you for being respectful of that. WU. Bro, okay, I'll bite chat. I'm temporarily deactivating the no backseating. How do I get that 75% more consistent? I feel like I always choke there. Like, genuinely. I feel like I've just not gotten to the bottom of it. I'm consistently inconsistent. Like this part right here. That part that I just died at. It's like a really weird press. You need to get better at wave? I'll kill you. Sorry. You can slide on the top? I don't think you can slide on the top. Hold on, let me pull up a 9 circles video. Sorry, chat. Backseating sign is back on. Let me watch a 9 circles video. This thing is really a conundrum for me. It's like the one thing I feel like I can't get a grip on. Wait, is it both? No, it's right here. Here it comes. Get ready. Okay, they do an M. Okay. That's my problem, chat. I think I've been doing the classic thing where, like... Would y'all agree, chat, that an M there is easier? I've been trying to do a single click. I've been trying to do, like, I get all the way up here, and then I click. Okay, that's kind of stupid. The M does seem easier. Okay, I should do an M. All right, thanks, chat. Back to no backseating. Okay. I kept failing at that. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Oops, sorry. There we go. All right. Let me try and implement that now. Let me try and overcome the muscle memory I've already been developing. We'll see how it goes, huh? Thank you, SKW Slides. No more backseating, chat. I've realized I need to be... Was that good, chat? Because I know sometimes people can be confused when I'm actually asking questions. Was that good? Was I clear? About like, okay, I have a question. Okay, stop. Was that good? I feel like I should be more clear about that because sometimes people get confused. Yes? Okay, yeah. Because I don't want to confuse, like, I do feel bad. I think sometimes people, I know in the past I've been a little vague and ambiguous about when I am and when I'm not asking questions. So I want to do better as the streamer to make sure y'all, you know. I want to be a clear communicator when I do and don't want advice. Because I know in the past it's confused some people and I feel bad about that. You should ask questions more often. People like it when you ask questions. I mean, I'll ask questions when I feel like I have a question to ask. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to... It's hard to make up questions where simply none exist. Okay. I see that. Okay. Let's start to... It's going to take me a second to develop that, but I feel that. Someone jumped from deadlock to 9 circles, and his name is TeejVeen. Difficult to spot a rhetorical question at times? Yeah, exactly. And I recognize, like, I can be kind of monotone sometimes with how I speak. And so I know sometimes I'm just like, wait, chat, what happened there? Wait, what am I doing wrong? Wait, what the heck? And sometimes I'll be honest, in the past, that is me asking y'all what I did wrong. And other times it is not me asking what. So I understand the confusion is all I'm trying to say. So I want to be good about I'll be like, no more backseating. Yes, backseating. I'll do that. Anyway, backseating's off. Sorry, that was confusing. Yeah, exactly. I just don't want to confuse people. We just passed the 10-hour mark, chat. Make a wish, it'll come true. Make a wish, it'll come true. Everybody get your wishes in. Damn it! Sorry. Okay, I am preparing for the M on that one part. Damn it. In classic fashion, I'm thinking, now I'm messing up on the part to get there because I'm thinking about the thing. It's frustrating, bro. I wish for Teej to beat Bloodbath before August. Do you think that's doable, chat? I feel like we beat 9 circles this week. Then probably Magma Bound Monday. Bloodbath probably Friday. Thoughts? Of the following week. It's possible, maybe. I think it's possible. I'll take it's possible. Sure. Damn it! Why is it that I was doing better on this part before I locked in? Fall! You think Bloodbath will take me a week? I don't know, man. I feel like even the most generous estimate, Bloodbath takes me a month. Even the most... Maybe I'm cynical, but that's the vibe I get. And that's most generous. What's up, D-Master? I think the most generous estimate for Bloodbath is 2 or 3 months. I'm saying literally like the most generous. Like there's no version of reality where I beat it in less than a month. But a likely version of reality, I beat it in 2 or 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Damn it, I forgot the M. How did I forget the M? What am I? The McDonald's CEO eating that new meal? Was that topical, chat? Do y'all know the meme I'm talking about? How the McDonald's CEO ate that new burger they have and was pretending like he liked it, but he obviously didn't. Y'all know? Okay, you do know. Okay, good. It's hard to tell. The internet meme life cycle happens at such a clip now. It's hard to tell. Papa! Papa! Can you react to my YouTube video after? If you throw it in my Discord in the React to This Teej channel, I maybe might react to it. Also, chat, as a reminder, go to the React to This Teej channel on my Discord. The videos you want to watch, be sure to fire react to them. That's the main way I'm sourcing my reacts. The ones with the most reactions from our community are the ones that go to the top of my list. So please remember to vote there. It helps out a lot. If you see a submission that you really like, be like, oh yeah. And you're like, Teej has to react to that. Look, I skipped the M again. That is a way you can help me out. So please remember to do that. What's the Discord? Let me link everybody. Here, join the Discord if you haven't. It's important. Mom! Dude, once I get this M down, it's literally, dude, it's over. Maha! What will you do after Bloodbath? Probably Sakapen Hell, I think was the most rational next one. If I'm still, God willing, you know? But right now, the big boss is just kind of focusing on Bloodbath. I'm not trying to think too far ahead beyond that. We'll figure it out. Sakapen Hell is buns, though? Well, I guess we'll figure it out then. Dude, oh my God. You guys are so, like, it's one thing to not like a level. You gotta stop being so critical to the point where you're just like, that level is buns. This level is as. That's mean. Come on. Do better. You can effectively say, hey, I don't really like that level. I keep forgetting the M. Should do Bloodlust after Bloodbath? That sounds like a nightmare. No, like that's a fact, not an opinion. That's crazy. Okay. It is an opinion, but whatever. If you think about post Bloodbath, that kind of takes away from the goal. That's what I'm saying. Like, people are so hyper fixated on like, I don't know. What do you think comes next? Obviously, eventually playing a top 1. That's the overarching goal for any Geometry Dash player. How do we get there? Bro, I don't know. We're just trying to beat Bloodbath. Do you think that's why they put the hell in Sakapen Hell? Because it's hell? Couldn't be, right? Maybe. It could be. We'll never know. They're never in the same room. Hell and Sakapen Hell are never in the same room. In case that I didn't make that abundantly clear. Yeah, that does feel better, chat. That does feel better. I just need to feel it. I just need to feel it inside of me, and then I can wriggle it out. Ah, closer. Okay. Pause? Yeah, what's up? Yo, what? Yeah, what's up? I'm gonna sip some coffee. Good call on the pause. That's some good cup of joe. I like the bottom of coffee where it kind of tastes like chocolate, because that's where like all the grounds have kind of accumulated. Maybe I'm crazy. Tej verifies Eternus after beating Bloodbath. All right, someone's been reading my notepad without permission. Should we jump to Eternus after Bloodbath, chat? That'll take us what? Probably... We're at around 10 hours on 9 circles, haven't beaten the wave part. Eternus probably takes us 20 hours. Conservative estimate. Do you think you'll go from 0 today? I'm starting to think maybe. I hope I can. But I have to get the full wave. That's the current prediction. And honestly, the fact that I took so long to not ask chat that I should do that M at 75%, I played myself. 2 to 3 days, 10 minutes, probably 19 hours. Okay, all right. This all sounds fine to me. It doesn't sound so bad. Honestly, I'm impressed I've been able to play this much of 9 circles today with Deco. Like, regardless of where we end today, we've been able to play the whole day with the Deco, and I feel like the stamina and endurance gains we've gained today can't be understated. Also, I can't wait for us to go back to playing the first 40% of the level again, and for me to have forgotten all of it and to fail it. Yeah, I learned it without the deco. I learned the wave part in layout mode so that it was less complicated for my brain. My brain! Is the deco starting to feel more bearable? Absolutely. It's feeling a lot more second nature. Which is good. Oh! Don't worry, y'all. We're fine-tuning that 75%. That's the obstacle. If I can simply figure out 75%, let's just say someone else is going to be paying me rent. Game chops with the comedic timing. No! Okay, that click timing's making more sense. It's just a little... I've done M's before. Like, TJ, just think. Just think about the timing you do on this M right here. Do that M, but on 75%, okay? Okay, I'm thinking too much about it now. M, M, M. This level is all M's when you think about it. Mario! Damn it. You have to train your eyes to turn on layout mode to become a true GD player? Based. You don't see what's happening on the screen. You simply see the obstacles underneath it. That's like some Jedi Master type shit. What's after 9 circles? Magma Bound. Chat, I've been baited by a lot of people. A lot of people have been saying that jumping from skeletal shenanigans to 9 circles is not a jump. Would you classify 9 circles to Magma Bound as a jump? Or is that also just baby? Wah, wah, I'm a little baby. I don't know what to believe anymore. What's up, Jonathan? I'd say that's a jump. It's a hop. I like it's a hop. I think it's a jump, man. I think jumping from a hard demon to an insane demon, like, keep in mind, I'm gonna beat my first hard and then I do an insane, and that's jumping, bro. I'm jumping all over, around, and on it. Oh, some people skip hard demons. How about this, chat? Between you and me, it's a jump, right? Because we're jumping to a new difficulty. Okay. So this is about what I expected. About half of you agree with me that it's a jump and the other half disagree. So that makes me feel empowered to go ahead and call it a jump. Well, any hardest is a jump? Yes, but I would argue that, like, I don't know. It's like, if according to the Geometry Dash difficulty ladder, like, you beat like a top 5,223 and then you beat top 5,221. Is that a jump? I don't think so. That's literally a step. So I guess with that perspective, that's how I see it. Anything where it's like you're not like basically beating something within like a few slots of where your current hardest is ranked is a jump, you know? But that's my opinion. Yeah, I agree, Orange. Exactly. There's like some reasonable step-by-step progression in this game. But I don't know, everybody's mileage varies in this game, and isn't that a beautiful thing? That was so close, I just let go. Sorry, I'm working on my voice acting. Thoughts? It's a spectrum? I'm on the spectrum. Have you seen the guy that beat Bloodbath as his first level? I genuinely don't care. I've said this before on stream. I think anyone can beat any level as their first level. It's just a question of time plus dedication. I get that that's clickbaity and interesting to some people. It genuinely could not interest me less. My brain's very mathematical about these things. Like, it doesn't surprise me that someone beat Bloodbath as their first level. I'm impressed by the grit and determination that they exhibited, but it's like, cool. I've been trying to tell y'all that that's possible, and you just don't listen to me. Some people are just like, oh, it's like, anything is possible if you put your mind to it, and you're willing to dedicate yourself to the grind. Some of you see stuff and you have your minds blown because you aren't aware that a lot of things are possible. You limit yourselves. You're just like, whoa, someone actually did it. And like, meanwhile, I'm sitting there on the sidelines like, yeah, that's not a surprise to me. The indomitable human spirit can accomplish crazy things, chat. But also, if that guy's outed as a cheater, then I disagree. I disagree and I rescind my previous statement. Yo, I got past the M! Nice. Now I just need to do the parts beyond it. Yes, exactly. It's theoretically possible to beat Thinking Space 2 as your first level if you played for long enough. Exactly. And that's all I care about. A lot of people are too practical. Like, you forget that, like, the nearly infinite asymptotes that exist within our reality of the bounds of human effort. You can achieve some crazy stuff. Is it the most sound advice to try and attempt these things? No. Is it achievable? Yes. Would it be ill-advised? Potentially. Could it be dangerous to one's health? Certainly. But to just binary say it's not achievable or whatever, I think it's discounting what humans have already proven that they can achieve over the course of human history. I think it's crazy how long humanity has existed and some people still be sleeping on the human spirit and what it's able to accomplish. Some of y'all so naive. Yeah, physical impossibility is different. We talked a bit about that in the M-Dog 5 video. Like the impossible levels that are literally impossible because of the inputs. Yeah, sure. But some of you treat things that are like mathematically impossible and things that are just like, bro, I don't know if I would want to do that myself as strictly the same. And all I'm arguing is that they are not. Just because you don't want to do something and you think it's a dumb idea to like do a grind like that doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means you lack the grit that someone else might have, which is fine. It's fine to be less determined than other people. I just need you to be able to admit that about yourself. Would I want to beat Bloodbath as my first level in Geometry Dash? Hell no. That's why I didn't do it. Everybody gangster till GD players get the cyborg upgrade. It's true. Like once we're like more machine than man, the whole conversation changes. Yeah. Oops. I took it more as an achievement worth recognizing and celebrating than it's theoretically possible, so it's not crazy when someone actually does it. No, yeah, I think that's fair too. I think for me, I'm just annoyed because people in my chat keep kind of doing it with like, hey, have you seen the guy who did this? And like, for me, historically, I feel like every single one of my streams, I'm trying to convince people that that is possible. And then suddenly like someone achieves something that others have deemed impossible. And they come in with just like, whoa, look at this like thing that we thought was like basically impossible. That's why it's frustrating to me. I do think it's an achievement worth recognizing, but that's why it's frustrating. multiple people have now come in like, have you seen the guy who beat Bloodbath in one day? And I'm just like, yeah, I think that's cool. But I don't think it's mind-blowing. Also, I thought people had said that someone had already done that before. I didn't realize that that was something someone hadn't done before, to be honest. But I'm certainly not trying to minimize others' efforts. I think from what I've been saying, it's pretty clear that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to say, yes, what that guy did was very impressive. I'm pissed off that you guys... It takes someone doing something impressive in order to impress people. That's what's frustrating to me. Like, I wish y'all in chat could understand, like, the limitless potential each of you possess. You all could do so much with your lifespan. With the little bit of life that you have been afforded, you could do inconceivable things if you simply allowed yourself to. Oops, I missed the M. Yeah, exactly. There's recognizing the accomplishment. There's then, like, it's like Paul Revere saying that the British are coming. Like, everybody's just like, did you see this crazy thing? And it's like, I am impressed with the achievement. I don't think it's all that crazy. Because I believe in people. Full stop. I believe in people. Did you see this guy that was able to move mountains with his hands? Good on him. He's based. Did you see that doggy finally verified grief? I knew he could do it. The Renaissance men are coming to town. Those feel like reasonable responses, yeah? Yeah. I don't know. But thank you for that chat message, because I do want to clarify. I'm not trying to minimize that guy's achievement. I think that's cool. If there's one thing I don't want to ever do, it's minimize the achievements of others. I think that's annoying. But that's the thing, like... Also, if someone was like, did you hear about the guy who just beat Stereo Madness for the first time today? I would also say, oh. I don't believe in, like, one accomplishment being more meaningful than the other. I think the value of an accomplishment purely exists by the sake of it being an accomplishment. I don't like accomplishments that become dick measuring contests. I think that's bad. I think it's toxic human behavior. Value accomplishments by effort? That's fair too. I feel like there's innate effort to every accomplishment. Most of the effort is imperceivable. All of us can comprehend, or like sometimes we have difficulty comprehending accomplishments. None of us can, like, that is the one thing we can never comprehend, is the effort someone puts into something. We've talked about this before on stream. People can appreciate results. They don't really understand everything it takes to achieve those results. And they never can. Because that's purely subjective human experience. Without literally being in Doggy's sense memory of grinding on verifying grief, understanding the effort it has taken him, it's merely a reflection. It's an approximation at best. You will never understand. You could never hope to. What's up, Ken? I use up arrow on my keyboard. Damn it! Pinyas! I have to get this M before the end of today. I have to get it. Oh, there we go. Okay, then I just need to release. I use my finger. Most of us tend to. Damn, so close. I think I just need to start my clicks earlier, potentially. Oh, I just panic clicked. There we go, chat. We're almost there. Dude, if I can just clear this part. Oh! We are very close to a new best. Wait, I haven't reached the reverse wave. That's cringe. No! Oh, reworking muscle memory is so hard. What have I done? Oh, I feel it, chat. Oh. I felt it that time. I don't really remember what I do on that reverse wave section. I don't recognize it without the layout, if I'm being honest. I'm getting past the M, though. We're cooking. We're getting some music attempts in later this stream. No, and I'll do you one better. I think stream's over. I'm tired. Sorry about it. Ending on TikTok. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. I'm cooked, chat. I can feel it. Stream's over. I'm tired. On God, bro. It's time to call it. That react took a lot out of me. And yeah. W stream, I agree. Video took a lot to do. I'm saying, dude, that video pissed me the hell off. I think it's going to be a great video. I'm interested to see what people think of it, but it took a lot out of me. All right, naysayers win. Good job. Naysayers win. All right, y'all, I'm tired. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll react to the race to beat Silent Club Step, and then I think we'll be able to get the wave down. But we made good progress today. Take care of yourselves. Good night, good noon, wherever you are. Look how tired I look behind the eyes. Look at this. I look tired. Peace.